Yeah. If I die tomorrow, I hope you hear these words. I ain't here to flip no birds or sip no syrup. Hope the future generations can get this urge. Stay woke, youngin', and avenge these nerds.
Yeah.
Yep. What is going on?
What it do?
It's Nerds Day. It's your birthday. It's Nerds Day. It's your birthday. Get it hard. Get it rocking.
That's better than Technical Tuesdays. So I'll take it.
It's something. It's definitely something. What's up, everybody? How was the weekends?
It was good. I have a cold. I caught it from the children, I think. I don't know.
Oof.
So now
I was fighting off
sinus
something.
pressure in my head. I just want to, and I have to go to New York 3 times this week, so it's just rough.
Why don't? Oh man, I
can't cancel.
Get a hotel for a week.
I can't.
I'd call it.
Yeah, that ain't gonna happen either. You crazy? You know how much shit I would get if I was gone?
Yeah. That's Oofa.
Like you're taking vacation from us.
3 days back to back. Today was day 1, then tomorrow, then Thursday.
Thursday.
You got.
Yeah. So
my weekend was lazy. Yay.
Good for you. I mean, my weekend was lazy too, but it was
actually
lazy sleeping and
wasn't
cleaning.
Too lazy because Willow had her second evaluation doing her water therapy, and a lot of positive signs. But she's walking that water treadmill like a pro. My dog is walking again.
Nice.
That's good.
Love that for her. Love that.
Yes.
Love that.
I mean, come on, she has 2 torn ACLs, like
which is wild. I don't think I've ever heard a dog just be like, "Oh yeah, like I'm out here with fucking Derrick Rose injuries."
Yeah, it would be my dog. But I know we have a guest today. We don't want to keep him in the back too long. Want him to join the conversation.
Yes,
get to shoot the shit with us. We want to welcome back Jack. What up?
Hey guys. A resident Lord of the Rings lore master.
Indeed.
What's up?
Oh, Jack, we got an episode for you tonight
with the map in the background and everything.
Yeah, I gotta be able to show you. Oh, actually, that's a good point. I could actually show you how it's supposed to be in the Second Age while we go through it. You see?
Ah, nice. I'm here for
what
it.
we gotta do? We gotta get Jack to meet with Tommy and just do a Lord of the Rings D&D campaign. Just Tommy DM it for him.
That'd be kind of wild. I'm here for it.
That'd be for it.
We're slowly getting Val to okay to do D&D.
I mean, she already said yes.
No. She already confirmed.
Said yes. She confirmed.
She confirmed. We got it.
She already said yes.
We just have to schedule the date.
So aside from being sick, I've been reading because it's been hard to figure out how to read. So I literally just finished because I literally just finished the first in the Brandon Sanderson series, the Stormlight Archive. So just finished book 1, Way of Kings. That was a fun 1,000 pages.
Dude,
and then I just picked up Words of Radiance because I ordered it and I couldn't wait, so I picked it up in the library while my copy is being shipped. And look how thick this bad boy is. Like, look, wait.
Green screen.
Oh, damn. That's a thick boy.
Yeah, that is.
Yo, like, I can't. I don't.
That's a big bitch.
Because like, so for me, it's one of those things where like I've read multiple 400-page books like in no sweat. Like, oh, that's an afternoon for me. A 400-page book.
A novel. 400 pages is a novel.
It's easy peasy. I see 1,000 pages and I'm like, so
yeah, I bought Way of Kings in 2022 because my coworker was one of the guys who I know from my job. He was like, "Yo, you like fantasy? You should read." Obviously, and I've known about Sanderson for a while. He finished Wheel of Time, and he has Mistborn. He just pumps out books. I was like, fine, I'll read it. And I got this fucking thing, and I was like, yo, this is like the biggest book I've ever read. Because like Game of Thrones books
move.
It's epic fantasy, so like it moves.
Not at the beginning,
but it's the beginning. So
stop.
You got to commit. Now I will say, it took it like.
Is it more of an uphill than Dune is or was for you?
No, I just never finished Dune. It wasn't that I didn't like Dune. I just didn't finish Dune.
Gotcha.
And then I finally finished Dune. I need to do Messiah, and then I'll decide if I want to go down the other 4 books because it gets crazy.
That's
But
crazy. It's
no,
a wild
but no,
statement
for
because it's
this,
already crazy. But
I've been meaning to read it, and like everyone talks about it. And I was like, all right, fuck it. I'm gonna commit to reading this. And I was reading it at nighttime. I was reading in the daytime, and I was like, okay, it's good. And then you get like, and then apparently there's a verb called the Sanderlanche, which is essentially in the last 100 pages of any of his books, all the shit just starts coming together. And that did happen. I will say the last 100, 150 pages, it was like reveal after reveal after reveal of like wondering, why is this guy so pissed off with this person? I'm going to tell you why. What's the secret? Why is this person so traumatized? I'm going to tell you why. What's this thing that you just found out about these people living here? I'm going to tell you exactly what it is. You're going to be like, what the hell's going on?
damn.
So yes, so I'm hooked. It's like each book is 1,000 pages. There's 5 books out of 10.
That's a big commitment.
That is a commitment.
Also, what is this shout out? What's going on? You go.
What is up, Hugo?
Yes, great.
Thanks,
news in
Hugo.
the
Yeah,
pop.
she's again 2 torn ACLs. I don't know how she did it, but it's like she tore one, it was starting to heal, and then she tears the other, and it's like, here we go again.
Wait.
She's walking up the stairs now too. So she does like a bunny hop up the stairs, which is hilarious. But she's good. What up, George?
What up,
George, looking
What's
forward to
going on,
seeing
brother?
George Medina at New York Comic Con. George, and speaking of George, I want to thank you. For those that don't know, George letters my comics, and these are the physical copies for issue 1 and 2. And this was the announcement I was going to make.
Oh shit!
I had 10, but now there are only 9 left of the physical copies for issue 1 and 2. So for anyone who is looking to get their hands on the physical copy, the last 9, DM me on Instagram or Facebook. First come, first serve. As far as it goes, $28 includes shipping. Issue 1 is not just Concrete Combat, but it's also Dungeon Runners. So you get 2 comics in issue 1. So it's technically 3 comics right here. And again, George, thank you. Shout out. And a big shout out is that part 1 for issue 3 was sent out to George already to start to letter. So part 1 to issue 3 is done. And that's going to be available on the Patreon as digital copies. So if you're a subscriber to the Patreon, go right ahead. You can read all my comics. I actually released the unreleased script for a comic I did called Dead Planet 1. So that is actually there, so people can actually read the script. So again,
busy.
I have been busy with the Patreon. Been doing a lot of fun art, dropping some fun stuff, some fun behind stuff, reworking stuff, and all that. And so far, like, you see a lot of this exclusive stuff on the Patreon. But yeah, you got Dead Planet, you get Lords of New York, which was an unreleased comic that I had done. I just dropped it there for people just like, hey, listen, this was unreleased. I may revisit that story, but Concrete Combat issue 1 and 2 are there. But you can get your hands on the last 9 physical copies. Just DM me, because once these physical copies are gone, they are gone. That's my announcement. Yay!
Nice.
I make comics.
Nice.
like
Good
punishment. Jack, how you been since we last seen you? Come on, let's go.
I have been phenomenal until the second season came out. FYI, guys, I'm going to be a little spicy about this new season, but I will give some good things. I will give some
kind of
good
expect
things.
it. We kind of expect it from anyone who is a fan, such as yourself, of the original source material.
Yeah, well, I had to be fair, like with the first season, I tried to be as fair as possible. Like, hey, there's gonna be some creative liberties.
Mhm.
Things are gonna be different, but it's like
They went all in on the creative liberties portion.
not even. That's the problem. Like, there's so much time. They shot themselves in the foot because there's so much time in the Second Age. There's so many monsters. You have vampires, you have werewolves, you have ghouls, you have wraiths, all that Sauron created in the first age. Yeah. That Sauron created in the first age that they're still trying to hunt down and destroy in the Second Age. But you don't.
We got
see
none of
any
that. Like, I would love to see. I would love to see any of that.
So Jack, is all the stuff that Sauron created in the first
What's
age,
going
is
on,
that
Shai?
is it mentioned in the appendices, or is that in the Silmarillion?
That is in the Silmarillion.
Okay. Yeah.
Yeah, I knew you were going to ask that one too, so I made sure to check just to be sure.
Okay. No, it's not that. It's such a shame. Like, that's the biggest crutch the show has. It's just, it doesn't have the rights to the Silmarillion. It's just the appendices, and it just takes away from a lot of the, like,
but I mean, there's
the
nothing
stuff.
stopping them from putting in werewolves and
Yeah, no.
vampires.
It's all common practice. You can just throw werewolves and vampires in
Yeah.
there.
Yeah.
You know,
Kind of like our dungeon master does to us.
you know. You can't name the spider, you know, you can't name her, but you know, you can
Yeah, Ungoliant. Yeah.
Morales, what's going on?
yeah, like it's definitely a shame though. You know, you got to make sure you call Melkor by, you know,
Melkor or
You
Morgoth.
got to call him
You can't call
Morgoth.
him
You can't
Melkor.
call him by his other government, otherwise you'll get sued. So
Which, like, that's not a big deal because it's the elves that called him Morgoth. You know,
Yeah.
everyone that knows him by Melkor, that's only the Valar anyway. So it's like,
Mhm.
okay, big whoop. But I do get, like, that is a good point of it limits you a lot. But also, it also makes me think, though, if they did have the liberties of Silmarillion, how much more would they mess it up?
Mm.
this is true.
Yeah.
Do you think, obviously, you know, I know we're jumping into the show essentially, but like, what would your take be on how to create a show that essentially wants to get up to the prologue of the first movie or the book,
Good question.
but like taking all of these thousands of years to get us to a show that we can watch just because of like, it's, you know, for us to consume the content, like what are the things that you can be like, all right, cool, it's fine if you want to condense the, you know, condense a number of
Timelines.
years. Yeah, like that's, you know, that's a fun challenge. It's a difficult challenge. You're always going to have folks who are like really about
Yeah,
the book
you're
and
never going to
everything.
get everyone that's happy.
Yeah.
That's actually a good one, Tone. I actually like that. So you have the second age ends in I want to say 3441. Feel free to look it up and keep me honest if you want to. I want to say it's around 3441.
So we're not
But
fact checking. We believe you.
yo, but like
You proved that shit 2 years ago. You know.
Well, thank you. Yeah, but like, it all begins. Like half of the world is gone. All of Beleriand, all of that is underwater. So the first 1,000 years almost is the Middle Age just trying to rebuild, and they're dealing with vampires. They're dealing with werewolves. They're dealing with ghouls. They're dealing with wraiths. They're dealing with dragons. They're dealing with all this shit that no one wants to deal with. So you could easily make the first season just that, like, holy shit, let me get my bearings. And you could focus it around Gil-galad. Gil-galad is the last king of the Noldor. Great actor that they chose for him, but he's a little, don't take this the wrong way, he's a little chunky for the greatest warrior of his age. Like,
It's all that Lambert bread. It's all that Lambert spread. You know. He
yeah,
kinda,
like, yeah, dude, the dude's taking two at a time, not a nibble. But it's
I
like,
feel like he also lives the very lavish king life. Like, oh yeah, I don't.
You see all
have
that
to
fucking
be-
see all those fucking rings on his hand? He totally lives that lavish
Of course.
opulence
God.
life.
And I was talking about this earlier, Tone, and I'll bring it up again. But I was talking about this earlier, is like the attention to detail. Like Gil-galad never wore gold; he wore blue and silver. But that's another, like, okay, nerd. But
You're on the
Then-
right show for it.
yeah, right.
Simple stuff like that, though. Like, look,
Tone, look up the. What did I tell? What did I ask you, Law, to look up? The armor for the Palace
Yes.
Guard.
Yeah.
Look up the armor
for the honor
for the
guard.
Palace Guard in Gondor. That is Numenorian armor. That's the armor that each Numenorian soldier had.
It's
So why
black
didn't
with
this
a
show?
great fucking helm? Oh,
Yeah, it's
so-
black with mithril lining. Why didn't this show have all of their armor like that? Because that was literally in detail how their armor was in the books. And it looks slick. Like, I like the look. Like, if I saw that coming for me, I'd be like, hey man, you win. Like, it's
Like, you got it. I'm
I
just
mean,
gonna go back.
look, for all the things that we didn't get, you know, Gil-galad in his drip and the armor lined with mithril. You know what we did get though? We got Narsil, and you know, everyone lost their shit when
that
The
was
so-
nice.
when the Sword of Kings shows up, and it's like, all right, we can forgive you because it's like, I know that sword. That sword goes to my boy Aragorn later on. You know, like, you know, it gets reforged.
Yeah, that is a really
Does
good
it get
point.
reforged under a new name?
Under
Is that-
mhm.
Okay, because I looked it up and I was like, is that the same sword? I think that's the same sword. But like when I looked it up, it was under a different
So-
name and I was very confused.
The importance of Narsil, not to go off on another, but the importance of Narsil is that it's actually made by the dwarves for man, and it's known as the flame,
Okay.
or the white flame, I believe. So it's made by dwarves that only the power of man could wield, that the elves reforged that still only man could use. So it's literally all the peoples of Middle Earth are intertwined with Anduril.
Nice.
It's good symbology.
I like it. And I believe, yes, it was the White Flame. When I was looking up, I remember seeing White Flame.
Okay,
So-
yeah. And then Anduril is Flame of the West.
So that leads me to my next question. So that it just with the mention with the sword and a lot of the stuff we saw there, and then mentioning that there's some stuff that Amazon didn't splurge to get access to. Do you think the series is just really, really geared on hitting points for those who are casual, who weren't into deep Lord of the Rings lore, to try to bring in more people?
I don't know. I think one, they're trying to, with all the money they spent, they could have easily done it the right way, but how do I say this correctly? Done it the right way, but still made the majority of the people happy. You're not going to make everyone happy.
Yeah.
Their next season is definitely going to be the Fall of Numenor. That's a great book to read if you haven't. It's more than just what's in the Silmarillion. Christopher kind of made its own story on it. But I mean, if you read it, then you're just going to be pissed off with the show again. So there's that.
I mean, isn't that how that always goes? It's like you're just
Yeah,
like,
all
damn it,
the
you
time.
didn't do it right.
Well, and like that's what I was saying earlier. Like even Peter Jackson's vision with it wasn't perfect, and it's still like there was a lot of times where, like for instance, Aragorn not wanting to be king. In the books, that motherfucker was singing like, "I just can't wait to be king," you know, going back. Like he had Anduril with him the whole time. The Witch King didn't break Gandalf's staff. Literally, the entire army stopped when they saw Gandalf. Like, "Ooh, you gonna fight him? Because I'm not." So, there's
like not it.
yeah. So there's a lot of like key differences, but what saved the show and what made it a masterpiece was that Jackson actually cared about the small details, and those small details are really what made the show. I mean, look at the Rohirrim. All of those riders, they didn't have. Sorry, my dog's right here. They didn't have enough male riders, so they just said, "Look, everyone that could ride a horse, will put a beard on you, and let's go." And then they actually fashioned their chainmail with aluminum links. Like they all did it themselves. Like that little attention to detail. It made a masterpiece, and that's what these big showrunners are forgetting. They're just like, let's just throw a ton of money at it and call it good. They're not getting people that are truly invested, that truly want to see this vision come to life.
And we see that a lot with not just this show in particular. We've seen that across so many adaptations at this point, where immediately you lose a good chunk of your fandom from the first few episodes or the first few minutes of whatever, because you're looking at it going, this is nothing like what it's supposed to be. And even the liberties that you're
more of the
taking,
same.
no doubt. Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, we're seeing that with first of all, Joker's not doing well, part 2, because read a lot of stuff about it, which they gave the director free creative reign on what was going on, and not a lot of people were happy. They never even tested it with audiences, which was one of the biggest mistakes they made.
Hugo,
Hugo's absolutely on point.
I was just about to bring up The Witcher, and I feel bad for Liam because he has a lot of shoes to fill, and the fact is that the showrunners for that show have been kind of dipping, and he's
the fact that they're really going to do the last season, like it doesn't even make sense at this point, because they're just like, hey, we're gonna bring you in to wrap this all up, and you know,
Netflix has invested too much money in it now, and they've already committed. Where all the
other projects, they've canceled and abandoned shows for less, though.
But no, all the side projects that they were doing for The Witcher, they've canceled. Like, done. Like they were supposed to do a side story for what's her face,
Siri?
but Siri. You saw it with Love and Thunder, for Thor. Like Taika went on saying like, well, I just did the movie for the money, didn't care about doing Marvel movies. It's like, yeah, you can't really trash that movie, and such and so forth. You see this in a lot of these like adaptations that do well, like for example Fallout was phenomenal
because they cared.
So good. The way that I've never been so happy watching that show, because I was fucking nervous as hell. There's very few things that I'm like, please just do well. Please just do well. It's literally like Fallout, thank God the Percy Jackson got redemption because like Percy is
Oh,
my
is Percy
boy.
Jackson good? I haven't watched it yet.
Oh, so good, so
Okay,
good.
I'll have to add that to
They
it.
take their liberties, but like you have Uncle
That's
Rick
fine.
out there with them going, yeah, make that change. I would have fucking done that differently. And you're just like, fuck it. Uncle Rick said it. It must be good. Like, who am I? How dare I go against Uncle Rick? He knows better. He knows best.
Yeah, so going back to Tone's question on how I would have done it, there's two ways you could go about it.
Mm.
I want to go with the second way. So the first way I was getting at was like, hey, you could do it like each season is a millennium. But then that would put like, yeah, but then that would put too much in the last, like this last season, you better not miss an episode of it or you're going to be gone. Or you could just focus on like season 1 is all about Numenor from when they're established all the way to their fall. Season 2 is all about the creation of the rings. Season 3 is all about the dwarves of Khazad-dûm. You know what I mean?
Okay.
And then the final season
that would've
bring
been
it all
dope.
together. Yeah, but yeah, they just shot themselves in the foot putting everything like, what's the time lapse between the first and second season? 2 days? Like, what's the time lapse supposed to be? Like a month, maybe?
What are you talking about?
Between season 1 and season 2?
Oh,
yeah.
It's like a fucking week.
Yeah,
It's not
It's
much.
it's short because like the first season ended with home dude's boy's mom being alive, and it's just getting burned because the actress left the show.
right. You had talked about that last time.
Which threw an entire wrench, I felt, into that whole
Yeah.
plot. Because
That's not their fault. I don't blame
You
them.
know.
I mean, if they really cared, though, they would have gotten someone else in
they
it.
would have recasted her because I did not give a shit about Theo.
Right.
I don't
you know,
think anyone did.
And everyone did.
I think
And
they
then
tried too hard to make him like everyone like him, but they don't
You
know how
know.
to create a show.
And then
I
you
feel
know,
like I wouldn't
and then
be
our
giant
elf from
food.
the Bronx, like we hardly ever saw him, right? Like
Yeah.
he was just there. You know,
Dominican
Absolutely.
elf.
getting the Dominican elf getting a chopped cheese and then showing up.
Dominican
Like,
Hey, I thought he was Puerto Rican. I thought he was one of ours.
Puerto Rican, Boricua, it don't
It
matter.
don't
Like,
matter. It's all the same. He made the mofongo. Let's
it
go.
doesn't matter. He just showed up. And then I thought he died in the second to last episode, like the way he got shanked.
I thought he died too, and then I saw him in the
that
last one. I was like, "Oh, okay, I guess
But like,
you're fine."
he's not
now.
even limping. He's just like, "What's up?" I'm like, "Bro,
Yeah.
you got shanked."
Oh, there's so much wrong with that. Okay, all right. So let me. We're getting into it. We're getting into it. So let me hit on a couple.
That's
of
why
things.
I like. It's just so funny.
Val
'cause,
should
like,
be here in like 5
like,
minutes. So you
like talking about the show,
perfect timing.
but it's also like shitting on the show, but talking about the show because it's like I can, if I separate it from the stuff I know and the stuff I research, I'm like, it's just a fun fantasy show.
Puerto
It's
Rican.
not even that
That's how it's
fun.
And he's a New Yorker. So yes, he's one of ours.
Yeah, but I mean, like, sure, is it fun? Okay, but I wouldn't even say it's like it's worth a single watch. That's what I'll give it. A single watch.
Yes.
It's worth watching once, and then it's like, okay, I'm gonna move on to better things.
That's true because I'll even watch the Hobbit movies more than once,
Exactly.
and that's saying a lot.
Yeah,
You know what?
do that.
I'm gonna pause. I'll watch Desolation of Smog more than once. I can't watch, War, the three
Battle of Five Armies.
Battle of Five Armies. That's a rough watch, and
That one
but I love the second one, and that's just I liked Benedict as Smog. I thought that
Yeah,
was
he did a
great.
good. Didn't he get like? What did he get? He got something wrong with his tonsils from talking like that.
Yeah, I think so.
Something
what it's
I love all the green screen pictures of him where he's like on the mat.
Like just yeah, like just torquing his body all around. It's like,
You know,
oh,
and,
that's
so like
comfortable.
Benedict and Martin Freeman put those entire movies on their back.
Oh yeah. So okay,
That's
all right.
good.
So let me back up then. So this is how honestly the show shot themselves in the foot in the first season, and I told Val this. It's the same thing. You have 3,000 years of history, 3,400 that you're just like, we'll make in 2 years. Just it'll be a 2-year time frame. Like it'll be all right. And so, for instance, like Numenor had a very slow fall. At first, they were known, and I think, Tone, you actually hit this last time. Spot on, by the way. They were known as explorers, as wise men, as like they would go to Umbar and Harad down further, where you could see it, and they'd go to the coast and enlighten the lesser races of men, right? Then as time went on, They started fearing death, the gift of death, and they started becoming more militaristic to the point where they got so damn powerful, they marched their happy asses into Mordor and said, "What's up, Sauron? You said you're the king of man," and his whole army just fled. And he was like, "Ooh, shit." Like they didn't even fight him. Now backing up to like where the show ended right now. What I'll tell you what was supposed to happen, and they actually did a good job of trying to keep it the same way. So you have the Regen, which is right here. If I could hold my hand up right there, right? Which is Khazad-dûm right here. It's not known as Moria yet. And it took, let me back up a little bit. So it took, I want to say it was like 200 years. You might want to keep me honest. Maybe 300 years of forging the rings. So there were literally hundreds lesser rings because Sauron didn't know how to make it. This is new ground. This is new territory.
Oh, shit.
So him and the elves of Eregion were practicing. And then when they were finally like, you know what? This is pretty good. I think we got this. Then they created the lesser or the greater 16. They're greater rings, right? And then Sauron went back to Mordor to create the One Ring, and that's when Celebrimbor created the 3 in secret. They tried it on, and they finished it around the same time. Sauron finished his like 40 years later, and realized like, oh shit, the elves created some. So him and his army marched up to Eregion. Now this is when like Sauron is the most powerful he's ever been or ever will be. He's at the top of his game right now. And this is around 1600 of the Second Age.
Sorry.
I know, because we so pulled it up at the same time.
What?
That's so funny.
100 years to make a ring. Hello, union job.
Yo.
So fucking great.
Yo.
I'm here
Working
9
by
to
the
5.
hour, bro.
9 to 5. I get an hour lunch, and if you don't remember my name, I get an extra hour of overtime.
Exactly.
Where are the free meals at too? Like,
Yeah.
come on.
You know,
Oh,
I only
man.
do a certain thing at the smithy. I only put the
I
gems
heat
in.
it up.
That's
I
it.
heat up the fire. I stoke the flame.
That's
Just
it.
have to
That's all I
see-
do.
just have to see if there's any OSHA
I don't-
violations
I don't
now.
do anything. Don't do anything else.
What'd you say? You wanted me to get some wood? You could go fuck yourself. And that wood.
I mean, the OSHA violations happened when Celebrimbor was in his haze. Like there was
Yeah.
so
Oh,
much.
there was so much shit happening.
I didn't mind. I didn't mind how they did that, like how Sauron kind of manipulated him like that, because it's like, hey, you know what, Sauron probably could do that. I actually, don't hate me for this, but I actually don't like what they did with Galadriel because she's a sorceress. She's not like a warrior, but she's a very powerful sorceress. Dol Guldur, she tore down with magic alone. So it's like you had so much
Why did
play you could
why
have
did
done
they
with that.
decide to make her
It's easier.
just
For lack of
that?
better-
Like, they just made her a warrior. It was like, all right, cool.
Yeah, don't get me wrong. Hey, you're a badass warrior, and it's like, don't get me wrong, you're sexy as hell doing that, but it's not. You could be sexy as hell flying some flame around you too. You know what I mean? So, anyway. So getting back to like the time frame of what happens here. So Sauron gets pissed. He marches his army up to Eredor. Now, you can't like see it. Like over here, this is Lindon. This is where Gil-galad is. He sends Elrond, his herald, with a battalion of his troops to go and help Eredor. They get down there and it's like, oh shit, we're losing, and we're losing bad. Like we need to get these people out of here. Celebrimbor and his wife and his daughter are tortured in front of him, and he's put up on a spike as a banner in front as you march into Eredor. Yeah, it's messed. And then
That's fucking dark as shit.
So they toned it down for the show.
Oh, they toned it way down. I'm about to get to like orc
Yeah.
families. You guys don't even know. I'm about to get into that too.
Jesus.
That part didn't bother me as much though. But anyway, and the only thing that saved Elrond is Durin. Durin did come in. Durin the Fourth did come in and be like, "Yo, I got your back." And so they attacked the orcs from the rear. So then the orcs turned around and was like, "Oh, you want to play?" And Durin literally had to back off back into Khazad-dûm and seal the doors. Like they couldn't even fight him. And then Sauron chased Elrond all the way up to Imladris. And they were like, "This is it. We're over. Like we can't take this." And Gil-galad with his main host is there, and he's still not able to fight back Sauron. But Gil-galad was smart, and he sent word to Numenor, and this is when Numenor was still good. Sent word to Numenor, and Numenor was like, "Hey, I got you back, fam." came over and slaughtered Sauron's army so bad that he only escaped with 2 guards. That was it. His army was just done. That's it. Bye. Right? And so it's like, you can't tell me that wouldn't be something cool to see.
Yeah.
But
Yeah.
you can't do that in the show
Can't
now.
do that.
'Cause it's like,
You can't do that because Al-Farazon's already gone off the deep end.
yeah,
he was
exactly.
already, he was already going off the deep end.
Yeah,
Let me
it's
ask you
too
this.
far.
You know, or
And so,
Catman, as I like to call him.
Catman,
Yeah, I was like, why are we not calling him by his actual name, sir?
yeah, we could call him Catman, absolutely. It just, I was like, whoa, you had such a good thing, but like, again, that's 1600 on the Second Age.
And then
But
after that
you-
happens in the store, in the text, in the in the historical documents. So after Sauron loses, is that when he's like, fuck, I gotta go to Numenor and fuck up their whole shit?
Pretty, sort of, yeah. So he realizes, like, I need to fight man with more than just orcs. So what he does is he starts corrupting man down here in Herod, and he goes to the east and he starts bringing over man. And it takes like another, because the war with Sauron and the elves lasts until about 1700, if I'm not mistaken. And it takes about like 3260 something. I want to say it's around 3200. So like 1500 years it takes him to rebuild up his army, because that's how much Numenor fucked it.
Yeah.
It took to build up his army. And during this time, Numenor is already kind of falling. They're starting to become conquerors now instead of like peace bringers and such. So they're already on that path. But now our Farazorn is in the mix. Muriel is the righteous king. Her and her father did try to bring it back to the loyal, but our Farazorn kind of forced her to marry him, and that's how he became king in the books. And it's a little bit more darker. They do something that rhymes with grape, but we won't mention it. So absolutely got it. Sauron now declares himself king of man, and Ar-Pharazôn hears about it, and he's like, oh, fucking really? And so he brings his entire armada over to Middle-earth. They march into Mordor, and the orcs are like, fuck you and them, Sauron, I'm out. Like, bye. Not playing. So Sauron is literally like, shit, I cannot fight these guys. So he surrenders to them. I want to say that happens like, I don't know, actually. So hold on, I have to do this. So, 32, yeah, 3261. So he surrendered at 3261, but they don't sail till Numenor until 3319, I believe. So that's what, like 50 years?
More or less.
I
More or
find
less.
the use of time for Tolkien and all his work just like fascinating, and like the thousands of years between things.
And he
that,
has
you know,
genealogies too. Genealogies for all of it. Yeah.
you know,
It's
it is crazy. You know, I wonder if it's like a mix of like, well, elves live for forever, so I can just
Play
throw
with it.
years in there
I mean,
because
yeah, it's like you got elves, you got dwarves,
which I like
you have
that
multiple
Elrond,
lifespans.
not Elrond, I think Durin says it to him in the first season, where he was like, dude, like 20 years to you is different than 20 years to me. He's like, dude,
and I do like that. Yeah,
I did like that scene because it made Elrond think like, oh, you're right, like I can just live
maybe
forever
I'm a
as long
prick.
as I don't get murdered, you know.
Yeah, I do like that, and I also like how Elrond like talks about his father, because he never knew his father. He was raised by Magros, who was about to murder his father. So like he didn't, bro. Law, I'm telling you, like there's so much darkness in
This is real
Tolkien's
spicy,
writing.
and I'm here for it.
There's so much darkness in it that you'll be like, yo, Game of Thrones would be ashamed of some of the shit that goes on.
Damn. God
Listen,
damn.
listen. I go. Some of us are prepared because we survived Berserk. So let's go.
Yo.
Poor Tone.
So yeah, our Farazon takes him, and in like 50 years, I might be a little off. Correct me if I'm wrong, but in like 50 years, Sauron turns from a prisoner to the chief advisor to Ar-Pharazôn, and he's just whispering in his ear like, "You could attack Valinor. You could gain their immortality from." Hey, there she
There
is.
she is.
There she
Hi. Hello, y'all. How
Jack
are
has
you?
been dropping the spiciest lore
I
knowledge.
know.
That I'm
First
just like,
of all, the king
the entire
of
time.
Tolkien lore.
Oh,
Thank you,
thank
Jack,
you.
for joining. How
It's
are we,
been-
guys?
it's
I'm
been real
sorry, I'm a little
fun.
bit lit. I'm just getting
Yeah,
in.
I bet. Work
bet.
dinner, work happy hour.
What dinner is great.
Yeah.
You know,
Listen,
Battles.
every time you go, it's follow the Amex. That's my motto.
Yeah.
You go out for work, you
Es-
follow the Amex.
Especially
When you're
you
right,
have
you're right.
Possession of the Amex. When you have possession of the Amex, it's even better. What?
Oof.
Oh, yes.
Oh.
These are
Hello.
facts.
Until you have to put expenses in, then you have to like figure out a real reason as to why you spent all this money.
Nah, it'll work itself
Yeah,
out.
You just see it all works out, right, Jack? We
Yeah,
just need to
it'll work
cap the
itself out.
body count,
Yeah,
That is
yeah.
body count. Just add some fake
Yeah.
names.
right? Because
Who the fuck is Jerry?
no one should have a two dinner. Right.
It was Jerry from accounting. So it was good.
Right.
Fucking Jerry.
You know that guy we
75
hired for like
ahead.
a fucking hour and then we fired him?
Yeah, exactly. It's-
Yep.
I took the whole IT.
You know,
I took the whole
75
IT
ahead.
department.
We had a $2,000 bill, so we need about 20 motherfuckers to show.
Yo,
Oh my god.
why do you
That
have
part.
17 Jeffries on here? I don't know, man. Common name in Atlanta. What do you want me to say?
It's just Dave from IT. He knows everything.
Like,
Oh, yeah.
you look at the list of names, like this looks like the entire starting 11 of the starting 53 of the Atlanta Falcons. What's going on here?
And they'll be able to
That's about
tell
right.
who wrote it too, because if Jack writes it, they're gonna be like, "Who the fuck is Feanor? What the hell?"
Someone had some real nerdy ass parents.
Yeah.
Right. Alendio, who's that?
Who the fuck's
fuck is
Alendio?
that?
Oh, Sam Gamgee? That
It's-
sounds familiar.
Fucking Sam.
Oh shit.
I tried to get here as early as I could, guys. I'm sorry, but I'm glad Jack joined before me.
It's good.
Oh, yeah,
All
we
good.
just-
Where did I hop
I had
in at?
to warn
We're
them.
just
I literally
talking
had to warn
shit.
them.
I mean,
Yeah.
we talked
You
a
had
little
to
bit
warn
about
them?
this lap. We're just talking shit at this point.
Yeah.
I mean,
We're
Jack
just
came
cutting
in
out the
hot today. Jack came in real spicy today.
he was like, I was really nice about season 1, but fucking season 2.
Let me tell you.
Yeah, that was a direct quote.
No,
Oh,
no. What's
God.
funny? So Jack educated. The only reason I even know anything the last episode we covered this is Jack had educated me like 3 days before, and I'm like, that makes so much sense. Oh my god! And then so while we're in the conversation, I'm like, I actually sound like I know what the fuck I'm talking about it. I was like, Jack, check this out. I think you would be proud because I sound like what the fuck I know what I'm talking about. And he's like, you did good, G. You did good, G.
She did. I was like, you
It's
did
just
great.
right.
You should have seen me in her office, man. I had a timeline up, and I was like, this is what they did, and this is what
Had a
the show's doing.
He literally had a whiteboard, and he's in my office like, okay, this is the timeline. This is it. And then we were like going through it. I was like, oh my god, that makes so much sense. It worked.
Oh man.
like what did you do for let's say we talk Lord of the Rings?
Yo.
Timeline.
Yeah, literally.
Whiteboard, Go.
Jack, you would have loved. So our friend Cheyenne has been the one keeping us like on track and honest for the most part. It's like they'll talk about it, and then Cheyenne's like, "So according to this," and we're just like,
Yeah, she's just
Oh,
like
there's the
throwing it
fact
in the
checker.
chat, just words of
pulling
text.
us. Like, yeah,
Yeah. She holds
Yeah.
us accountable.
all the time. We love it.
That's
Yeah.
good.
Yo, y'all accountable. Nobody holds this guy down.
This is Jack.
Okay. Yes, but
I love that. It's actually yes.
yeah, but the problem is like there are contradictions, and so especially when Tolkien got older, he did change a lot of things. But so like the show, I don't know what the hell they're doing with Gandalf. I don't know why they brought Tom Bombadil in. Like,
Oh, yeah.
oh, I do know why.
My wife hated Tom Bombadil so much.
Guys, I was so excited
Why?
at first because like Tom Bombadil was one of the chief complaints of why wasn't Tom Bombadil in Lord of the Rings, and I was the very few that took the stance of like because he didn't really add anything to the story. Like, well, let's just call a spade a spade.
Okay.
I love him.
Okay.
Tom Bombadil was great, but he just didn't add much. And so when I first saw him, I was like, oh, hell yeah. And then Gandalf's like, oh, I'm going to learn from you. I was like, what the hell are we doing now? What? Every time with this, every episode.
It's really funny is that like so I'm telling her, I'm like, well, Tom is an enigma. And she's like, what the fuck does that mean? I'm like, that's
Tom.
That's Tom. Like
That's
that's it. But every
Was
time
it-
I see him, I don't know if y'all remember. It's a I'm a this big SpongeBob SquarePants fan. I grew up with him, and there's this one scene where Patrick is talking, and he's like, "My mind is an enigma," and it goes into his mind. It's literally a carton of milk that falls over, and so it just makes me think. Yeah, look it up. Look up Patrick Star.
I'm not looking that up on my computer.
It's great. It's fucking...
No, because then they'll fucking give us stupid SpongeBob shit. I don't want that algorithm in my fucking search.
Anyway,
your phone heard it already. There you go.
He's such an enigma. I was just like, it felt very much like a fan servicey thing with them just throwing in Tom. Because when he showed up, I was like, all right, that's Tom Bombadil. I thought when they did after the first 3 episodes and they did here's what's coming up in the weeks, and I saw a bearded character, and I was like, well, you already have Gandalf here earlier than he needed to be. So I saw the bearded guy. I was like, oh, is that Radagast? Because doesn't fucking matter anymore.
I thought it was Radagast.
Doesn't fucking matter anymore.
Doesn't matter anymore.
No, I knew it was Tom Bombadil right away, just because they did get his description right. That's what I'm saying. Like they are hiring the right actors. Whoever is in charge of acting is the only one in that department that has a career.
Oh,
wow!
Yo,
that's shots fired. Okay,
bang bang.
Yeah,
Jack, never change. Never ever change. God, that was the best take I've heard in a long time.
Jesus.
They're only one who have a career.
It's all good. That's a moment.
Oh, like I tried to give them, the first season. It's never as good as you expect. I tried to give them some leeway the first season, but now with the second season, it's like, oh, you're going. No, you fucked it up. Oh, you're going somewhere. No, you fucked that up too. Like, Jesus.
But I thought they were doing good. No, is it just me because I'm watching it with the
saying. Like
plate?
they would get there and then they would drop off. Like how. When it ended, did Elrond and Gil-galad escape? Yeah, they did. They were at Imladris. That's right. Yeah. That's right. With like 16 other elves.
With the other elves, they're all like, "We're gonna fight," and I'm like,
"Yeah, like,
who y'all fighting?
Yeah,
like
who y'all fighting? Where's this?"
Yeah.
All these, I see kids raising their hands up. They fight the orcs.
Yeah, exactly. It's like, okay, you're dying. We'll fight, but you're dying. So enjoy.
Those kids are 100 years old, so they have 100 years left.
So that is true. They do grow lower, but their mind ages faster. So they're actually like at 3, they could talk like an adult, but they still look like a baby.
That's Jesus. I don't like that at all.
That's like Dune shit. That's what that is.
For real.
Oh, you want to hear about the orc families? So, who is it? Nerd of the Rings.
Families.
What?
Nerd of the Rings did a really good job actually on how he dug into like, do orcs have families and such? Are there good orcs? He actually did a great job with it. He missed a few things. The only problem I have with a lot of people that dig into it is they will source their material, but it's also like, hey, there's other material too that's relevant to it that you didn't add on to it, which is understandable. So the orc family, everyone's freaking out about the orc family. So I'll just say it: orcs don't feel love. They don't. They're created out of sin and hatred. Now, I will say that they do crave independence. They don't want to serve Sauron. But they love to pillage, they love to plunder, and they love to do that thing that rhymes with grape. They love all those things. They are as dark can be. And so how you get offspring is they have to forcibly mate with their females. That's how they get offspring. It's born out of hate. And so it's like, that's what I was saying, like, it is dark, but it makes sense. Right, it makes sense on why like they're so evil and such, and it's like I don't like how they gray zone these orcs because it's like gray zone an elf, gray zone some. You're already gray zoning everyone else. Like do that. Orcs are meant to be evil. Let them be evil. You can have one good orc. At first, Tolkien was very much like, nope, orcs are irredeemable. They're fucked. They're evil. That you need to kill them all. As he changed his writing as he got later in his life to be like, you know what, maybe it's a possibility that they could try to be redeemed, but the chances of that are almost obsolete just because you're grown up in this environment with nothing but hatred. It's literally in your DNA to hate everything, and the only joy you get is by burning or torturing others. So it's really hard for that to happen.
I really want to be
So the
surprised.
family with the kid, the orc family with the kid, and saying, "I thought you loved us."
Yeah, it
All of
didn't
that
make
is bullshit.
sense. Yeah, it didn't make sense at all. Because it's like, what's the book with the Aragon? Like that's the type of show
Yeah.
where you have that type of material, not Lord of the Rings.
Right. I mean, yeah,
Is it
Aragon
Aragon?
gave us like an orc type character. Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah, an orc character who really were just trying to be good. Yes, that is an Aragon.
Or you got the Will
Right,
Smith
Tim?
movie, Bright, which had the orc as a police officer trying to separate
That's
from
fine
the other
too.
orcs from the thugs.
That actually, I
What?
watched that movie. That wasn't a
Oh,
bad
Yeah,
movie.
right.
I like
Oh,
I like that
wow.
concept.
I never watched it. Honestly, Lord of the Rings lore is just massive and can be delved into, and still wouldn't be enough. Apparently, I'm getting the sense that there's so much. I dissected The Hobbit, read the book, grew up on Lord of the Rings, and can honestly nitpick all day. Fair?
Yeah, that's the point. Is like I'm trying not to be nitpicky because I read literally all of Tolkien's works every single year. I just got his poems in that just came out. So I could be super nitpicky with it, but it's just like some of the stuff. Like I get why they wanted to show the Balrog, but it's like the Balrog is showing up like 2,000 years early. The Balrog doesn't even
Yeah,
show
but
up
they're
at third age.
it feels like they did that just to get rid of him immediately and give like an end to this king and put our Durin as king.
So it doesn't make sense though, because like Hazad-dûm has been known. It's the only place in all of Beleriand and Middle Earth that is a steady supply of mithril. It's always been the steady supply of mithril. That's always been the thing that Hazad-dûm has.
Mhm.
And so now that it's like, oh, we've broken in. Oh, now we found the mithril. Oh, but there's a fucking Balrog there. But in the movies, you literally see Gandalf walking. You see them all walking by all these mithril mines. So is the Balrog just going to crawl back up and go to bed while you're mining all that shit now? Like
Yep.
that.
Yeah,
That's the part where
That's
another. That's another.
That's it. He's going back to sleep.
hibernating.
You know,
Yeah.
It just gave
season
us.
one. You know, they were like, you know what's gonna be really good? We're gonna show that fucking Balrog that took Gandalf out. We're gonna show him for 5 seconds.
But you gotta admit though that I mean it made
That
no sense
part
for
was
them
cool.
to do
If they would have left it like that and left it for like 2 seasons for him showing up later, that would have been better than what this was. Because it's like, I mean, I guess that's why he's called Durin's Bane, but it's like he killed Durin the 6th, not Durin the 3rd. So that I mean, like people are gonna know the difference on that one. Whatever.
But it did give us a cool scene because I mean that scene was cool. It's just like I can get why it's so out of place.
I did love like the fatherly connection between Durin the 3rd and the 4th. Like I loved that part.
Yeah.
Well, and I don't know why did they change the rings? That makes no sense to me. Like if you look at the design of the rings, why didn't they just take like I have 2 of them right fucking here. Why don't you just take the replicas from the rings in the movies and make it the same? Like that small attention to detail is what matters.
That's probably again a lot of these people who gets to write these shows, they want to leave their mark, they want to leave their thing, their design, but it's like no, it was already created. Just like how you say, you pay attention to the details to link the stuff together, and that's what you get a cohesive story. And that's the problem with prequels, because prequels, when you're trying to tell stories before other ones that were established that came out, you can kind of dig yourself in a deep hole. And it's like, and again, it goes back to like you said, you don't pay attention to the details that was done in that original story that came out. You dig yourself into a deep hole, and it's like, oh, how does this link?
Absolutely.
I wanted to ask because you brought it up before.
Question.
Go
Okay,
for
go
it. I was
Go ahead, Val.
Sorry. No,
Go.
you're good. Go ahead. You wanted to ask.
Go strong,
I
guys.
was
Now
asking-
lit. She's like, fuck it. I'm gonna say what I gotta say.
Yeah.
No, I was as I'm thinking it, I'm saying it, and then you said something, so I can hold back.
I was gonna ask because it got brought up, but I don't think you fully established why. At least for the person who doesn't know much. So Tom being the teacher to Gandalf is a problem. Why?
Oh, okay. So Tone is absolutely right. Tom is an enigma. There's some theories that he's Eru, which is God. He's not. That's been even Tolkien himself said no. He's just Tom. He's just a spirit that has always lived in Middle Earth and always will. He's just Tom, right? Gandalf. Yeah, Gandalf, it is said in multiple sources that he is the wisest of all the Maya. So you have the upper gods and you lower gods, or angels, right? That's Maya. That's Sauron, all the wizards, the Balrogs, that's Maya. And Gandalf is the wisest of all of them. So you're telling me that the wisest wizard of all time, or the wisest godly being of all time, needs to learn magic from a fucking enigma.
Yeah, that's fair. That's fair.
It's like that's some bullshit if I'm calling it right now.
Yeah.
It's just like when I saw it, I'm like, this doesn't make any sense. Like, what the hell? And then,
It doesn't make sense to the Tolkien people. Like for someone like people who are watching it brand new, we're not piecing that together. We're like really
Yeah, I
just
know.
enjoying it for what it is, and it doesn't give us the same impact or pain that you're feeling.
No,
So,
I
like-
thought Tom showing up was weird.
It
I didn't
was.
get it. I didn't.
And-
But you
and why
have
is he
more
so
of a
far in the east?
Tolkien. You know more of the history.
No,
For someone
but
who
you know
knows
what
nothing,
no,
it doesn't
you know
bother
what it-
us.
No, I have to, like, when I watch this stuff, you know, it gets to it eventually just gets to a point of like, you have the historical documents, you have the lore is the lore, and then we're at this point of just like, we're just making a fantasy show set in the world of Lord of the Rings, and we're gonna use what we use, and we're gonna tell our version, and like
I mean, it's
accept it for that, and so. A lot of like when the show was first coming out, everyone's losing their fucking mind because we're focusing on Galadriel and all this other stuff. I'm like, who gives a shit,
Yeah.
man? Like, she's a character we all know. Let's
Right.
just, let like everyone, the fans know who she is. That's that's the the viewpoint we have. Jack, you can correct me if I'm, but I don't think there's a lot of first person accounts of Galadriel from the appendices. So they can kind of just
especially not the appendices, no.
so they can just use her to do whatever to like move us along, and that's it. I'm like, I use it as like, I'm watching it. It's a watch to have. I criticize it. I have my thoughts. My wife watches it with me, and like, it is what it is, right? Like, if I want to watch as faithful as an adaptation I can get to Tolkien's work, I will throw on my extended cuts of those fucking movies, and I'll sit and I'll watch them, and I don't care because I'm happy as a fucking clam because those movies make me so happy every time I watch them.
But to the point though, like what Tone is saying, like even Tom Bombadil, even from an outside appearance, it's like, what is your purpose here? Your purpose is to give Gandalf a fucking riddle and him to figure it out on his own, and now you'll never see Bombadil again.
That's what happens. That's what happens in the books. Like, he's just like, here's this. Bye.
Yeah.
I'm
Well,
gonna go
He's
fuck
like,
off for a
hey,
little bit.
I'm calm. You called me. I'm back. Hey, go away, race. Okay, bye now. Like that. That does happen in the book. So fair. I'll give you that. I will give you that.
Okay.
He's the guy
Val,
who
what was
said-
your question?
I didn't get to finish the last episode because life happens and I'm in the middle of it. But what's the point of this Dark Wizard? Is he
Yes.
Saruman?
It is not. The showrunners confirmed it is not Saruman.
Then
Saruman's
why go
daddy.
through all this effort to
Saruman's
make him
daddy.
first? Okay.
What's the point?
Time out. From the
So
guy,
this right
from-
here, confusion. That's the point. To say
the-
you didn't get it.
from the guy
Watch them
who
backtrack it.
isn't as invested as the rest of you. I'm like, why wouldn't you just make it him? Because one, not only does he try to like befriend him in a way of like, you remember me, we're good friends, we go way back, whatever the
Right.
fucking spiel was that he was giving, and make
Yeah, you
it
told
look
me to
like
come
him,
here.
give all the
and
mannerisms of
we're good.
him.
Urian Hines looked like fucking Christopher Lee. Just
Like-
yeah.
yeah, like I was
Why
like, oh,
go through all the fucking grand
I mean,
stance
he
for
might
you to like,
be.
it's not him.
is
He
one
might
of the
be
Blues?
Marenitar or Romussimo. Like he might be one of the blues that's been corrupted. That's a very big possibility.
But you fuck up
one of the
everything else.
blues
Why not
that's
just?
incorrect.
Why
I
not
mean,
just?
yeah,
like,
Law. When you're right,
Good
you're
luck.
right. So I do want to go over like the hierarchy really quick, just so you could kind of see.
he didn't
Saruman
Saruman
he
didn't
didn't.
lose his
And
mind.
he never
until
really
the third
lost
age.
his mind. He just tried to fight Sauron with power, and it didn't work.
Yeah.
But like looking at the hierarchy, so you have Eru Iluvatar, the Abrahamic god, right? God of everything. And he had the fire of creation, right? The flame of Arnor. So when Gandalf is fighting the Balrog and he says, I'm a wielder of the secret fire, or I'm a servant of the secret fire, he's saying, I am a servant to God.
Mhm.
Wielder of the flame of Arnor. Arnor means sun, so I wield the power of the sun. Dark fire will not avail you, flame of Udun, right? Flame of darkness.
Mm,
So like that actually
So
that
both
tells you who he
mention, like,
is.
gospel.
Yeah, that tells you who he is, though, because it's like, he's literally telling the Balrog, you know the power I wield. I'm going to back up before you get backed up, essentially. Right? But looking at the hierarchy, so you have Iru Iluvatar, and he's the one that has the imperishable flame. He's the only one that could create or give life. That's it. Melkor, Morgoth, wanted to find that imperishable flame, but he never could. Then you have the chief of the Valar, like Pantheon gods, and that's Manwë. And Tone hit it dead on last time. He's in charge of the eagles in the sky. His wife Varda is the mother of the stars, and that's why you have the elves call her Elbereth.
Like
the elves
Hera?
love the stars, huh?
I'm trying to compare it to Greek mythology. Is that she like Hera?
I guess.
Okay, never mind.
Yes.
Okay.
So, but the elves woke up when the stars were born, and that's why the elves worship stars. That's why Varda is like their main goddess. Then you have Yavanna, and she's married to Aule. Now, Yavanna is the mother of trees and nature. Radagast was her apprentice.
Okay.
Then you have Aule. Now, Aule is like, think of him as just the craftsman, Hephaestus. He's like always like, here's the line you don't cross with Eru, and he's right fucking there, like all the time, all the time.
Okay.
But he does it out of curiosity and creativeness. So he's the father of the dwarves, and when he created the dwarves, Eru was like, "Hey, you created life without my approval. Smash them now." And so Aule was like, "Oh, I'm sorry," and he gets a hammer and he's about to smash them. And then Eru was like, "Okay, just kidding. Just wanted to make sure you weren't like trying to be evil with it." And so Eru planted them into the mountains and gave them life through the imperishable fire.
Mm.
But Aule's both of Aule's apprentices were Kuramar, Saruman, and Sauron. Both of his apprentices both turned to quote unquote the dark side. So it's literally like pretty close. And then you have Ulmo. Ulmo's like Poseidon, the god of the sea, and the two blue wizards served under him. The two blue wizards were Marenitar and Romastino. And Ulmo was most known for helping Middle-earth. Like he's like, I am there for man. He's constantly there. He's Numenor's patron god and such like that, which is why the two blue wizards were the first to volunteer, saying, I'll fucking go to Middle-earth and I'll help when I can. So now you kind of have an idea of like where they all lie. And that's also why Sauron is such a good smith, because his master before Melkor was the Lord of Crafting.
Okay.
And then that's also why Radagast loves the trees. And that's Gandalf is the only one that we know of that had several masters. He was under Manwë, he was under Varda, he was under Yavanna, he was under Ulmo. I don't know if he was under Tulkas. You what?
Which tracks for him being the wisest, I guess.
Exactly. Mm-hmm.
It makes sense.
I forgot where I was going with that.
You were going through
You
the
were doing
Pantheon.
hierarchy.
Yeah, hierarchy.
You're painting the picture.
Yeah, the
of
hierarchy.
Oh, well, that's pretty much it.
Yeah.
Those are all the big ones.
Nice. That's a. I
Oh, that's what I was going at. So I have no fucking clue who this wizard is. Because it's like
It's right
There it is. He's like, I gave you this entire hierarchy. You know who I didn't mention? Tom fucking Bombadil. So I don't know who Grand Elf is.
Dark
but he
Wizard
sure
is.
as hell
Oh
not
my
Gandalf.
God, that was amazing.
That was fucking
That's a
hilarious.
moment of clarity right there.
I almost didn't come back to the point, but now I did.
Good job.
Motherfucker.
Proud
Thanks,
of you.
man. Thanks.
That's the Chevy
Yeah,
Tahoe
like,
energy
What
right
if the
there.
dark? Would it make sense if the Dark Wizard ends up being one of the Blue Wizards?
It makes more sense than what it is, but right now nothing makes sense. So fuck it. To Tone's point, like just roll the dice, bro. Go with it.
Oh,
And Matt
listen, I mean,
shit.
Listen, no one can mess up anything like the showrunners for Game of Thrones. Let's be honest.
No,
No,
I'd
no,
say
no,
this
no, no, no.
Worse.
Majority of Game of Thrones was great up
Yeah.
until the very last 2 seasons, right?
Game
Here,
of Thrones
they
didn't fuck up
fucking-
until the end. These guys
Right.
know that they fucked up at season 1.
Yeah. In the beginning, there was a fuck up.
But because Game of Thrones dropped the ball so bad on season 8,
Yeah.
That's true.
I criticize everything after season 5.
Right. Yeah,
I
yeah, yeah.
tolerated.
No,
That's
I
fair.
think
I
That's fair.
tolerated the nonsense of
7 and
5,
8.
6, and
7 and
7.
8.
I tolerated
No,
all. I tolerated
7
it
and
all.
8.
I tolerated the teleporting, the shitty Dorn situation. I tolerated it all. And then we got to season 8, and we got to that trash ass season, which just fucked it because they got greedy.
Now you
They
see
got
how
greedy.
I feel.
Well, they were supposed to move over to Marvel. I will.
They
the showrunners
they
were
had
supposed
the
to move over
bag.
to
They
Disney and
had
Marvel.
they
They
had the
fumbled
bag.
it.
They
Right.
They had the
dropped
bag.
the bag.
Motherfucker. Lord of the Rings had $1 billion ready. They had the bag. There is no excuse.
Right.
Sorry, Tone.
No,
you
you're
are
right,
right,
you're
Tone.
right.
I'm not
No,
saying.
no,
I'm
no.
not
You're right.
discrediting
You're right
it.
too. You're right too.
Oof.
You're right. It was just
Apparently,
$1 billion.
apparently Joker had the bag too of 200
Oh yeah.
mil-
Oh yeah.
and that they're like most of it went to Joaquin Phoenix, Lady Gaga, and the producers.
I saw some shit on Reddit that Lady
I didn't-
Gaga's team
You
is
guys watch
surprised
it yet?
at how bad the movie went. I'm like, I don't need to be a fucking critic to tell you
It's
how bad
getting
the movie was
so
going to be.
I am
Lady
trash.
Gaga was surprised how bad the movie went. Is that
Yes,
what-
it's. I saw Reddit
They-
saying her whole PR team. They're trying to spin it. I'm like,
Get
listen,
Too
out.
late, bro.
Yeah,
Like,
they,
Gaga,
they,
like,
they didn't
you
screen
could
the movie.
just-
They
it-
gave the director free creative range off of everything because he succeeded with Joker 1. They screened it at
Succeeded
a
is
Italian
a fucking
film festival.
stretch.
They did a
no.
lot.
The only reason
Listen.
why they say it succeeded is because Joaquin won a fucking award. That's
But
that-
I still have yet to watch that shit. I haven't
You're
even
not
watched
missing
the
anything.
first one.
You're yeah.
Yeah.
I have a
just
lot of
think about
thoughts
it
on
as psychopath dressed as a clown, and you'll be fine.
Which is why I refuse to watch it, and I don't like the idea.
And then
of
that psychopath
using
dressed
it
as a clown made Rings of Power.
yeah,
Great way to tie it back in. That's
that's it. That's it. That's it.
Right, yeah, that makes
Christ.
sense. Yeah,
That's
that's
it.
what exactly what the fuck is
Okay,
happening.
I have been
right?
crapping on it a lot. So like some of the good things I did like, I definitely liked Duran.
I love that you're trying to go for the.
I'm bro. Okay,
Listen,
but what question
what
did
it
you
is.
get
Instead of the
You know what
beginning,
it is?
it's-
That is bad.
It just gets to the point of like, I'm gonna continue watching it, and I just want to see how else this fucking continues, right?
Yeah.
Because you know, like, I'm not gonna watch the new season of The Witcher because they threw me after they got rid of our
I'm
Lord
going
and
to.
Savior
Henry.
Henry
I'm
Cavill.
going
Right.
to.
But for this, I'm like, how else are you gonna fuck up the rest
I
of the
like
lore?
that they only use 8 episodes.
you go.
Oh my
Yeah.
god. You go. Never
Right
fucking
here.
misses. Never misses. I love you. Oh,
8 episodes every 2 years.
Say no more.
shit.
Wait till 2026 and you'll get season 3.
God, yeah.
Right.
When will
Oh my
man
God.
get one of their 9 rings?
Oh, it's
I
smart.
don't know.
Guys, that's why they're making it wait so long. They're like, okay, we fucked up. Let's wait 2 years so you forget all that shit, and then we could run this new one.
Yeah,
Yeah. Yeah.
yeah, and
Smart.
fuck up again.
Tactic,
It's
yeah.
fine. I just
No.
want to.
Shit.
You guys don't remember how bad we fucked up last time. Let's remind you.
Oh god.
No, but like there are certain parts where I did like the dynamic of it, like Sauron in love with Galadriel. Wouldn't have happened. These movies need to chill out with Galadriel. Like they're making her seem like a whore. She's married, right? Like she's married at this time. She's married to Celeborn, and when she's in the movies in The Hobbit, they make her like in love with Gandalf, and I'm like, she's married then too. Like, what are you
Yeah.
doing? So it's like y'all need to chill with Galadriel on that portion of it.
They
But
probably have a polygamy
She's got to,
society,
she's got to
I mean,
be,
No, they don't.
mother-in-law to.
They
She's got to be
don't.
mother-in-law to Elrond. That's all.
yeah.
No. Chill.
She is Elrond's mother-in-law.
She is. She's,
Kelbrain is her daughter, and
No, what I'm
Elrond
saying is
what's that?
right, but the thing is they haven't introduced that she doesn't even have a kid right now.
No,
Wait, wait,
well,
wait,
Kelbrain
wait.
isn't born until the third age, but like
I thought
she mentions him in the first season. She mentions I had a husband.
I do okay. Let me time out.
Do we think it's
time out
Brooke?
because I'm just
No, that's what I
I'm
was
just
thinking.
trying to
That's not
remember
off.
a bunch of details. Tone and Val explained the whole thing with her being a something and something, and then I saw the kiss,
Something and something. Very descriptive.
and then we saw the kiss happen. What the fuck you mean that she's his?
okay, the kiss was a ruse.
Yeah, the kiss was a ruse.
The kiss was a ruse. It was a
Seabass, stop it.
It was the Captain America Black Widow kiss in Winter Soldier. It was a ruse.
Yeah.
That's all it was.
Ooh, good analogy. That's what I'm talking about, Tom.
Oh yeah, that was a great analogy.
That's all that was.
Bullshit.
Val, you're at a
Yeah.
7 right now. Let's bring it down to 3.
I've had
how many
margaritas
margaritas did you have?
Fuck you guys.
How many
Wait,
I
margaritas?
had
what are you
3 Hennessy
drinking?
margaritas.
Oh,
I had
Hennessy
3 Hennessy
margaritas.
margaritas.
See, that's how you know
Yes.
we know our co-host, because I don't even I just said I was like, I knew what the
What?
cocktail was.
Plus, yes, fuck you guys.
Love
Plus
you
a
too.
couple glass of great wine, and now I'm adding some more to the recipe, and enjoying some more wine. Thank you guys. I
This
appreciate
wine
it.
is-
Go for it.
Fabulous.
You do you live life.
Yeah, that's true.
I
You're
do
in the
live
middle of it.
life.
You live life like those writers write those fucking shows.
What's
Just-
the
No.
Right.
That'll ruin your life.
what's the,
No,
what's
you just
the-
go.
So, no, live.
Live. That's
Yo-
right. Thank you
YOLO.
guys. Appreciate the support of my alcoholism.
Oh, God.
Okay. So
Sounds so bad.
all of that was a ruse. Jokes on me. Egg
was a
on your
ruse.
face. And
If she
Well, like,
didn't
he
get out,
does say,
she
like,
didn't
I
get
would
out of
give
prison.
you everything. Like, I would, in this last episode, he does tell her, like, I would have given you the
Well-
world. Like, I do like that. I was like, oh, okay, that's
We're
pretty
talking
cool. Like,
about
wouldn't
with
have happened.
Elrond?
Sauron.
No,
Are we talking about
Sauron.
this with El?
No, it was
Okay, so that's- I
Sauron
haven't
and his
seen that part yet.
relationship to Galadriel. And
Oh,
I
are you
do
talking about Elrond's
I-
kiss to Galadriel?
Yes.
That was just to hand her the fucking trinket. That's all that
Yeah.
was.
yes. So,
Yeah,
Okay.
so she could get out of the chains.
yeah, if she
Yeah.
didn't
It wasn't
get out
like
of
it wasn't
the
like a
cave-
best friend going, "Oh shit, I did love her this whole fucking time."
Yeah.
Yeah,
Okay.
I mean, that would have been funny if she's like, yo, what's with the tongue? But
Okay.
He's like, well, you gave me your ring, so
yeah,
Mm.
and I don't
Thanks.
believe in these things.
See
So.
you
And then,
go.
and then we have the whole.
that's what
Sauron
happened.
thing.
Oh God, could you imagine if they do a romance in the second season and then they're like, oh, Celeborn's back, fucking happy triangle, like.
That would be so annoying.
Don't give him that idea.
Then she's
They'll
in love
fucking
with
run it.
everyone.
No,
First
he's
we
like-
get Sauron, then we get
Elrond would be
Elrond,
like-
and now Celeborn.
No, he'll just go to Celeborn like, listen, I can't have your wife, but I'm gonna have your daughter. Like that's
Yeah, that's
like that's terrible.
yo. You need to pump one out now.
All
God
right?
damn.
Imprinting here like fucking the Twilight series. Like, what's going on?
Can we
Jesus
talk a little bit
Christ.
about? Can we talk a little bit about Numenor and what the
Yeah.
fuck is happening there? Because
Yeah.
why did he take all the faith when say "fuck you
Because
guys"?
we're sailing
Galadriel?
west
Yeah.
to Valinor.
Yeah,
What is Valinor? Is it just like another
Valinor is the Undying Lands where all the gods live, essentially. So right now the Earth is flat,
Like, okay.
and you could directly sail to the Undying Lands. You don't need a special ship
Is
or
that
anything.
where
You
is
could
that
go.
where Galadriel was heading to?
Yeah.
That bright light, yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
Okay.
So you don't need anything there, and
Before she
that's
said
why.
peace.
Yeah,
She
and that's
didn't
why.
go to
So
the
when
light.
our Farazorn and his troops land on Tol Eresi on the shores of Valinor,
Mhm.
all the gods are like, "Hey, Eru, you said we can't do anything to man, but they're landing on our shores, which is forbidden." And Eru's like, "You know what? You're right," and just sinks Numenor in a flash and kills all of the men that
That
landed
seems.
on the
That
shore.
seems.
and it turned the,
little hazy.
Well,
the,
you
the
have to
world was
understand-
flat.
He's
And it went
very godlike.
circular.
Well, understand
He's
that
very
if Eru
godlike.
is Abrahamic God,
You can do
Old
it
Testament
literally
God
Right.
is
Yeah.
fucking nuts.
Fair.
Yeah,
Also fair.
yeah.
He only got
Deadpool ain't killing
off
that
when
one,
he had
bro.
a kid, and then he was like,
He's
"I'm out."
gonna be like, "Who
Yeah.
the fuck you fucking with?" That's pretty much
Yeah.
what he said.
So,
Oh, you fucking with me?
but like
Okay,
that,
hold on, let me
that
show you.
destruction was so big because you got to think like Sauron is in Numenor laughing right now because he knows man can't stand up to the Valar. He's on Numenor laughing like, "Haha, I got you, fuckers." But then when the whole island sinks, he's like, "Oh shit." And literally, it's in the books. It's his physical body was destroyed, and he was carrying his ring over the seas as a cloud. That's why he can never take fair form again. You only see him as this dark, brooding form because that fair form was destroyed while he was chilling, sipping wine
So
in
when
Numenor.
Numenor gets destroyed, Sauron is supposed to be there.
Sauron is the one that convinces Ar-Pharazôn and all the men to sail west and take it. It's yours.
I will say that is my
Yeah,
favorite
'cause
thing
you're my
that they
biggest
did with
fan.
Sauron in this is that like
Yeah,
they
it was-
really harped on his like master
Yes.
manipulator.
Yes.
Like I really
Oh,
loved all that because I
He's
know it's a
absolutely
thing.
really really
and
good at
it's
that.
really like, yo,
When
I'm
he
not
puts
doing
Celebrimbor, holy
anything.
fuck.
Oh, no, I liked it. I liked it when they were when he was saying like, "Oh, you don't think Morgoth tortured me and all that," and then I was like, "Oh, don't you fucking play that game?" And then Celebrimbor was like, "You truly are the master of lies." I was like,
He's a master
Ooh.
gaslighter too.
Yo,
Yeah.
the
Yo.
gaslight was
Gaslit.
Yeah.
Crazy.
the entire
No, he
Celebrimbor
fucked
thing.
with Celebrimbor the entire thing. Oh,
Yo,
fuck.
when he
was
went
fucked.
outside and he was like, "Let me go outside," and he just goes, "Oh, everything's nice and peaceful." I was like, "You're a bastard! Like you were a bastard before that, but god damn, you're a fucking bastard." Jesus.
Or no, what was great was
Mhm.
he's going and he's talking. It's not funny, but it's funny. Celebrimbor's like, "You gotta believe me, he's Sauron." He's like, "My hands are red," and then
Red,
he
like,
goes,
what are you-
what
and then he
what are
does
you
this,
talking about?
he does this, and he makes her push the chick off the ledge.
Yo,
I was like,
I was like, what the
yo, it's fucking
Her smarter, her,
manipulation times 1,000. It was crazy.
yeah, it's like, well, I thought you had more of a story, but okay.
Guys, if you ever play any sort of
Yeah.
TTRPGs with
you did-
charisma based
that was her
characters,
story. She
that's
was-
a full charisma caster, people. That's how you fucking play a face.
Oh
Yeah,
yeah,
that
that
is
one's
true.
totally a full charisma caster.
Full charisma.
Yeah.
Full charisma caster.
He's got like a plus 30. Like fucking nuts.
Yep.
Jesus.
Wait,
Yup.
what's a charisma caster? Is that D&D?
Yeah.
More or less. But it means
Yeah.
that your main
You got that
stat
Riz.
is or your main
Got that
stat,
Riz.
all of your fundamental stat points are in charisma.
You can
It's me,
persuade people
Val.
to do whatever and everything. You know, when you play, you'll know.
Jack.
It's you, Jack. You know what? You're right, Jack. I should know your charisma, right?
Oh, thanks, man.
Meanwhile, I'm like, Jack is a rogue / fucking intelligence based person. Don't give me that.
Right.
Fucking rogue on this show, bro. God. Guys, I tried so hard. You know how hard I tried with the first season to be like, hey, just
Yes.
watch it, it's good. And now it's like I'm just fuck it, dude. Like just go for it. Do what you want to do.
No, halfway through, you weren't feeling this way when we spoke a few weeks back.
Because they were,
were like-
that's what I was saying. Like they were getting there. They were getting there, and then they just
They're like, fuck this.
dropped it faster than Ned Stark.
God damn. God damn. Yo, Jack. Sir. Jack. Jack.
Take. Oh shit.
Jack.
He said, dropped
Yo.
it faster than Ned Stark. Holy
Jesus
shit.
Christ. Jack.
You know, this is the
I
band that would
like how
understand that,
Tone's just
bro.
sitting there like, I heard that. I did.
Yeah.
This is fair.
Yeah.
This is
Bravo.
fair.
Bravo.
Yeah.
Bravo. Bravo.
I was like,
Yo,
yep,
I'm not
that's
gonna
it.
lie. I think this has been the most hot take guest we've had in a long fucking time.
That's
like-
why
like,
we had to
You know
have
why
that
you're
back.
wrong? This is why you're wrong.
You
and
know
I'm gonna
why?
give you
Look,
receipts.
I mean, like, you know what it is? Because like I like when our hot takes are based on like not just the show was bad because of X, Y, and Z, right? Because
Right.
you can have those. Like, you can just fundamentally be like, why a show was bad, why the Disney shows aren't that good because of how they create them, right? But when it's like, no, the shit is bad because of this,
Right.
Like I have,
The whole list.
I
I
have,
have
a
a
list.
whole,
I have a
I have
list.
I have a
Fucking
list.
scroll goes
I
out
have-
through the
I have,
door.
I have primary sources. I can do a DBQ Regents test, and
Jack was giving them a chance at redemption with the last episode. He was.
I was.
Because we literally
Oh
spoke
my
about this
God.
a few weeks ago, and he's like giving me the breakdown and the timeline, and he's like, I want to see where they go with this, and he's being optimistic. I had a whole education lesson that I seemed like I know what the fuck I was talking about when I come on here with you guys, and it was like, and now he's like, no, this is fucking bullshit. I was like, what do you mean? I like the last episode. They're like, no, it's bullshit. I can't wait till I come on and talk to you guys. And I'm like, all right, so let's see what happens. Because yeah, the episode before this last one where they do the war and the orcs invade Eregion, yes. No, Eregion.
a Region.
My bad.
A Region. Remember, you gotta roll the R's here.
Yeah, my bad.
Region.
Region.
Roll the
Region.
I got
R's.
the map right fucking here.
When the orcs invade Eregion, okay, I'm
Tolkien
thinking
fucking fought in
that
World War One
episode
for
was
the
fucking lit.
for the Brits, but everything we have fucking rolling R's here.
Yo.
Right.
Yeah.
They're gonna
Yo,
fuck up more.
I couldn't even fucking get past the first line.
Optimism then.
Like, guys, I want you to think,
Down,
like,
up,
this
down,
is
up,
the
up,
scene
up.
in my head. This is the scene in my head, right? Like, prison scene, you just got in the shower, and you're wanting to get out, but it's too late. They're pinning you down. It's over. And just when you're like, okay, this season is done. I'm finally over. Another guy comes in that's even bigger, and he's like, "It ain't over yet, Bubba."
And then they bring in. Why are we didding the episode up?
Oh
Please
my
stop,
Jesus Christ. Seabass and Jack. Oh my God, you both need to be stopped.
Baby oil.
Jesus.
Fucking
Do we need
Johnson
like
and Johnson
a
brothers over
disclosure
here.
at the bottom? Like,
Oh my God.
Jesus. He said, let's
I hope the
picture
producers
like
don't
jail.
see this.
I hope they
picture
do.
like Diddy.
I
What
hope they
the
fucking
fuck?
do. Oh
Now,
God.
if the producers watch, okay, the only people they are speaking to are the non-token people who don't
I
know
want this to
shit.
be our highest
And
rated
it's
show
fucking
of all time.
understandable.
I bet that the people who do this show and the people who do The Witcher are best friends.
Probably.
Oh fuck!
Probably.
I don't know.
Yes. Yes. Motherfuckers.
I love
Like-
Jack's like half a second
Welcome.
of contemplation going, you know what? I like that idea.
Light bulb.
I'm here
You know,
for
we have all this source material, but we're gonna do like Miles Morales. Nah, I'm gonna do my own thing.
it.
Like,
Right.
not you.
Who gives a fuck what you know, what you've done? Doesn't matter.
God, seriously though.
Oh,
man.
Shit.
Oh shit! Lost 50 pounds laughing right there.
Yo, I'm fucking crying. It's so bad. Just like,
You know what? But you
Okay.
know what? I'm still gonna watch season 3 when it comes out. in 2 years.
Ah, fuck off.
Yeah, too.
I'm mad that I'm going to, but it's mostly to see like how much of a
It's-
dumpster
it's
fire
kinda-
it can
I'll
be
be
now.
But
honest.
it's like what Jack said. They give you 2 years off, so you
No,
don't
no, no.
remember.
I
and
watched
then
the
you
show
go right
for a
back.
couple of reasons. We watched the show because everyone I feel loves Doran and his wife. Like their
Listen,
relationship
Yeah,
Goals.
I do
great.
love
I
that.
love
Goals.
them.
I've
Their
said it every
relationship
episode this season.
is great.
Goals.
Yeah, okay, you're right, Tone. So there's a plus on that one. They have one
Right.
fucking plus.
No, fair enough.
There's
You
more
just
than
want to
one.
watch it, Jack. Come on. I enjoy Galadriel. I think the actress who plays her does a really fun job.
Yes.
I like watching her. She
Yes.
kicks ass, and I
Okay.
think Sauron kills it.
Yeah, I wanna
You
see
are
more.
right.
I
The
want-
only thing
I
that
want
gets
more
me
Sauron.
with Galadriel's acting is she talks through her teeth. And that I know actresses do that so they don't get like smile lines or something, but that's my only like why did they do it? Why I'm going to talk through my teeth this whole time so you could hardly understand what the hell I'm saying. Like that
So I
kind of
never
drives me
noticed
nuts.
that, but now when I watch in 2 years, and if I remember this, I will pay attention.
Yep.
Because we sure as hell know you're not watching it again.
Exactly.
See that.
Because to Jack's point, I'm not rewatching it.
All you gotta do is look at the YouTube clips.
Not rewatching
Yeah.
it. Not
my
rewatching it.
It's like,
Um,
fuck. Now,
I could-
now that's all I'm gonna see.
I could give a shit
Sorry.
about the human arc in any of this. I like the Numenor stuff, but it's
What
also getting-
human arc?
Exactly.
Numenor.
The non-existing human arc and on Middle Earth, that one.
Right.
You know, with
Oh.
Theo.
Oh,
Shit,
yeah.
I don't care about him anymore.
I don't think we were ever caring about him. I
No, but
cared
then,
about his
but then his
mom.
mom left the show, and they were like, "We don't know
I
what
care
to
about
do." and
Elen-
they-
no, I care about what's the elf that was fucking his mom.
I hope that
Oh.
was fucking his mom.
The
is
Bronx
a
elf.
crazy statement.
He's with the elves now.
Yeah,
He
the
left him.
the Bronx stuff, the Puerto Rican one.
Yes,
What's
the,
his
the
name?
one of
Dominican.
us. He's Puerto Rican. I
The one of
established
us?
that already. I said
This
he's
guy,
one of ours.
this guy I fuck with. I care
Oh
about
my
his storyline.
God.
Okay. If the producers ever watch this, do not kill him off. I'd be fucking pissed.
I
But
thought they
hold
did.
anyway,
Uh,
what?
But they
What?
did, but don't worry, he came back.
Arandir.
Elendiad. Yeah, thank you. So
The power of chopped
I
cheese
care-
kept them alive.
I care about his storyline.
Yes.
I was
I feel
happy
like
when
his
he came.
storyline wasn't
saved-
a storyline this season.
He didn't have a storyline this season.
He was
He
like,
was-
I
he
want
was
revenge. And it was like, huh?
No, he
Like,
was
no,
just clutch
that is-
for
like,
Galadriel.
Orlando Bloom's storyline in Lord of the Rings was more than this guy's.
He was an NPC.
Oh,
this
Right.
season.
Jack,
Damn.
He was
Jack,
clutch.
hold on. Because you brought up Orlando Bloom and you brought up
No,
Legolas,
hold
and
on.
I showed the group this a while ago.
Wait a minute. Let's not fuck
It's-
with this guy. Hold
it's
on.
this-
All right.
It's this thing. They were like, you know how, and maybe in the books it's different.
He doesn't talk to Frodo.
Yeah, okay. You've seen that meme?
I haven't
he
seen the
talk
meme,
to-
but I've seen.
Does he talk to Frodo in the books or no? Frodo, like the meme is that in the scene when Frodo wakes up in
He
Rivendell,
says
he
everyone
names
but Legolas's
everyone's name
name.
except Legolas.
Yeah. No, in the book he does talk to it because when I first saw that, I was like, I don't know, does he? But when I reread it, I even blocked off the chapters. I could send it to you. But yeah, he does say like 2 sentences to him, but he does talk to him.
That shit was
But-
hilarious.
To be
He was
fair,
I
like
already got
Legolas
one short
in the
friend.
books says like 2 sentences to everybody except for Gandalf.
Except Aragorn, right? Because that's his
Yeah. Yeah,
Yeah.
exactly.
Even Gimli?
They make
always
it.
been
They
like
make
that.
it
He doesn't
look
have-
like him and
he
Gimli
doesn't have a
are
relationship
locked
with
in the
Gimli?
entire movie franchise, and I love it.
What happened?
Him and Gimli have like a relationship. They compete against each other. Like, fuck
Well, they
that, I got
become
19
like
kills.
best friends. Gimli's the only one
17.
that makes it to Valinor because of Legolas. Like they never part ways. So Gimli establishes the Glittering Halls, which is behind Helm's Deep. He establishes a dwarven kingdom there, and then he goes up to Hazad-dûm and reestablishes Hazad-dûm in his older age. And then he's like, you know what, I'm done. And again, Legolas is with him this whole time. So Legolas is like, okay, well, let's go to the Undying Lands. And Gimli's like, let's go. So they never part ways.
So he goes to heaven.
And that's yeah, and that's
Aw,
actually
he goes to
really crazy because
heaven.
like Eregion right here, if I stop lagging, that'd be fucking awesome. The relationship between Eregion and Hazad-dûm is like it's the best relationship between elves and dwarves that ever happened or will ever happen again. So I wish they kind of delved more into that. Well, another thing that didn't make sense to me is how so the rings didn't really work on the dwarves in the books. The dwarves, their hearts were too stubborn.
Okay, yeah,
It
let's
made them
talk
a
about that.
little bit more greedy. It made them a little bit more greedy, yes. But what it actually did was it attracted evil. So it attracted the Balrog when they started digging too deep. It attracted Smaug. When they went up into the Grey Mountains in the north, it attracted cold drakes. So it just
Question.
attracted more evil. Answer.
7. So it's 7 dwarf rings. Does
Uh-huh.
7 dwarf kings don the rings? Because he
Yes,
the
there are
way they made
seven.
it
There are
seem,
7
Durin-
dwarf kingdoms. Yeah, I don't know why they did that in the show. I don't know how they're gonna distribute. them.
Durin was like, "You're not getting them until you fucking bring me
Yeah,
some money," kind of
that's where-
thing, right?
And that's where I'm getting at. So like, how long did Durin have the ring? A week, 2? And the dude is already fucking more
I mean, I
greedy
think it was
than
long-
Bilbo after 60 rings with the ring, 60 years with the ring of power.
60
That made no sense to me.
Yeah.
Mhm.
That made no sense. Like that, even like.
So
just
he was
comparing it with the
manipulated in
movies.
like 2 to 3 weeks.
Yeah, it just didn't make sense.
Timeline
It's like-
isn't right.
even if you take the books completely out of it, in the movies, Bilbo had the one ring of power, the most powerful one, for 60 fucking years. And the most he did was a scary face to his nephew. Yet
Well, wait, but if you think about what's his name? What
Bilbo?
what the fuck is the
Smeagol?
no, who had Smeagol, thank you. How long did Smeagol have the
Smeagol.
ring?
No, yes. Sorry, I'm sorry, Val. You're too much fun.
How long did Smeagol have the ring?
600 years?
600
And
years?
that manipulated him. Yeah,
give him
and
extended
then
life.
he killed his friend for it, right? He killed his friend for it. He also
Deagle,
was
yeah.
trying to. He betrayed everything.
It's
I
my
mean,
birthday.
obviously,
Now I know
obviously
why
our
he's so fucking
timelines.
crazy. Like 600 years with that ring is obviously gonna do some shit to you.
Hobbits are also little.
Hobbits are also what?
I mean, unless war.
oh, they are
Dwarves
I
and
heard you
hobbits.
guys talk about that last time. They are in the realms of men. Hobbits are.
Okay.
Hobbit
yeah.
is a realm of men.
They are a realm of men. It's not like known what that realm is, like how who fucked who to
people?
make that happen, but
Yeah.
they are the realm of men.
Harfoot and one
Oh my
man.
god. Oh,
My bad.
I
It
mean,
was
listen,
a Harfoot and one lonely man.
this is why we love having you. on.
Harfoot's.
Oh, that's
You can't
great.
think you any
All right. What else you want to talk
It happens.
about? And
What?
them turning against the faithful, and far fucking
Catman.
Our Farazan.
Catman.
our Farazan. So in the show, we don't see him. Okay, we see in episode 7, the queen goes through this water thing and she doesn't get eaten and she gets spit back out. Why didn't they just have her take over?
Because
I thought
then
that's what was gonna
the
happen.
show wouldn't go on.
I will say, like, how Farfarazan is able to manipulate them in like his squeaky voiced person to say, Sauron was in charge of this, and so you must now listen to me again. I'm like, come on, seriously, people? Like what is happening?
The greatest realm of men, right there.
It's like, I mean, you know what?
I mean, people. People do stupid shit. You know,
I hear it now. You know,
people-
people just listen to some
people-
person just yelling. You know, it was like you guys had this one tradition. If she survives from the ocean, the gods have chosen her. And they're like, yeah, you know what though? Like,
Right.
because
Alternative
that.
facts.
Let's talk about this. I think that's maybe false. We should fact check it.
yeah, just like how Farfarazan was able to manipulate the eagle squawking as it was for him.
Oh my god. Yeah, that doesn't happen. In the books, an eagle does come to warn them, like, hey, y'all are fucking up. Because in the books, eagles could talk. So an eagle does come to warn them and say, like, hey, you better go, you're straying from the path, you better go back on it. And it actually, the humans being humans are like, haha, fuck you, we're gonna go farther off now.
Fucking great.
like, don't touch the hot stuff. Touch the hot stuff.
Yeah. Like, I'm sure that's is that a no? It's Ed, Ed and Eddie where he's like, don't eat that dirt, and then Ed's like, yeah,
I
And he
got
eats the
it.
dirt.
yeah.
Yeah. Fucking Nation of Patricks.
Oh my god.
Jesus. Yeah, I know. It was like, I was like, the gullibility of these people is killing me, man.
Yeah.
You know. Yeah.
So does Uruk exist in the books?
Who?
Uruk, the father of the orcs.
Adar?
Adar? No, I think
Adar.
Adar's a show only, right?
Yeah, he's show only.
Adar. Isn't Adar Uruk?
Uldaruk is what they are.
That's
Or
their
is like
chosen
what their-
name.
That's their okay. I was like,
Uruk is just black speech for orc.
yeah, I got that. I vaguely
So
remembered.
Adar, the father of orcs,
Mhm.
is he a real character?
No.
No.
No, he's
But
show
and
only.
that's what I like
only.
about the show is like you can have creative liberties like that really like bring out the best of it. And I think I guess you weren't here, Val, but I was saying earlier, like you had vampires that they had to take care of in the second age. You had werewolves, you had ghouls, you had all this stuff that you had to take. You had a shit ton of drakes that they had to deal with. So it's like there's so much stuff that they could have easily dug into, but they decided no, let's cram it all in a 2-year span.
I guess it's like it's hearing that they still have options if they want to do more prequels with series before.
Well, no, they don't. That's the problem because they took the
They'll have
timeline
the-
and they just
they fucked
shrunk it. Yeah, that's the problem. They literally shot themselves in the foot in the first season by doing that, and then this season they were like, "Ow, that hurt," and they shot themselves in the other foot.
Like about-
That is
Wait a minute.
one of my favorite explanations
so
of something
funny.
ever. Oh my
Right.
god!
It's like fuck. Let's just fuck ourselves some more.
That
Like this doesn't
hurt.
make
It's not gonna make it any better. Are you sure?
I want a
Amazon-
matching pair.
Amazon gave us the money.
That's exactly what it
let's
was. Yeah, you should have gave them the money afterwards.
They were like, you know what? We can't pitch this show to Netflix. Netflix would have dropped us so fast.
Yeah. Who could we
was
go
like,
to?
"You
What
guys, I'm
sucker could
doing
we
my own
pitch this
thing."
to?
Netflix literally just dropped the fucking
Chaos.
Jeff Gold.
Yeah, Chaos.
I know, and that was
Yeah.
good.
That
I was literally on my list to
Now-
watch. I was gonna
now-
watch it this
now-
I
weekend.
watched
the
the first.
Gods
I watched
You
the.
can- You can still watch Chaos. You can still watch it. It's fun. It's good. I liked it.
Which one's Chaos? Is that the one with the
That's
gods?
the one with Jeff
Yes.
Goldblum.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That was solid. We really like
They
that.
just like wasting money. They're like, hey, we did this thing. We're gonna get rid
It's
of
a,
it. It's like
it's a
They're
tax-
learning
it's a
from
tax-
Amazon.
It's a tax write-off for them. Think about it. They get rid of
Yeah,
it.
yeah.
Tax write-off. There we go.
Like the travesty that is them canceling Sense8 is still crazy to me that it was literally one of their top shows, despite how big that budget was. Worth it, I might add.
Tax.
And they
write-off.
were like,
did
you
they
know what?
cancel it? Was it the writers' strike?
No, that was canceled.
that was
long
a while
time
back.
ago.
They were just
Yeah,
like,
way
yeah,
before
we're just gonna wrap things up and then make it like a movie like finish. And it was like, wait, what? Like you had so much left of story, and they were like, yeah, no, it's too expensive. Like it's your number one show. Like
I
even
don't know how
after
they-
it like went off, it was still your number one show.
I still don't know how they tell their metrics with what they cancel and what they keep, because like even like
I don't think anyone knows or can
Yeah.
tell.
it's really scary. It's a Netflix original. Like, okay, how long? That's why I'm surprised we're getting the final for Stranger Things. How long that survived?
But Stranger Things was always consistently good.
Yeah.
Like
Yeah.
Stranger Things
Yeah.
was like and got better every season.
Yeah. That's
Yeah.
what I was
You know,
hoping for. Rings
Are
of
we
Power.
getting another season still? Or no?
Yeah.
Yeah, we're getting
yeah.
the final season.
Yeah,
The
Final
kids will be
season.
in college, but yeah, it'll be another season.
College, they're already
did-
like 22.
yeah, they
or
did
like
the
11 will be
They're
married
so-
with her child, you know.
So they did the
Yeah.
table reads, and they said this has been the most emotional table read. So we're expecting probably a lot of character deaths. But they said that this has been some of the most, because they're also too like it's the
Don't get
final
me
season.
started.
It's the final season.
It's the
It's the final countdown.
Yeah.
I love that.
We'll see.
Oh,
Well,
man.
I mean,
Lord of the
yeah,
Rings is
these-
So I've
What-
never watched
what other
Chaos,
questions you guys
and I'm
have?
looking at it. It's Netflix cancels Greek mythology series cancels Chaos. I'm gonna have to look that shit up because I like Greek
Good show.
mythology.
It was
Yeah,
good.
good.
It was
I
still a
would like
solid
to
fun
note-
show.
Actually, I want to get.
all
I-
of
Oh,
season 2 of
I would love
Sense8,
to get. I would
nothing
love to
was
get
so
Jack's.
low at 8.4, and that was one episode. Everything else was at 8.6 to like a 9.5.
Yeah.
Still canceled.
For Chaos.
No, for
Sense8.
Sense8.
All right, let's go
Never
back
mind.
to Rings of Power.
Is
Um,
there much to
Well,
go and
this is
dissect?
totally getting
Because
off track.
I mean, I think
Well,
we
I like
dissected
to
the show.
talk about. I want to ask. Okay, Jack, hold on. Wait, hold on one
Okay,
second. I need
hold
to
on,
understand the relationship for Elendil, his son, and what it means to Middle Earth, and how they leave
Fucking-
Numenor.
I'm holding
forever,
on.
because this
I'm
is
holding on. You told me to hold on. I grabbed the stop to hold on to.
what I meant. So we
Hold
see
your horses.
Elendil. Not wait. Is Elendil the father? Elendil's the
Yeah.
father, right? Am I saying the wrong
Yeah.
name?
No,
Okay.
you're right. Elendil.
He's in Numenor. They promise
Mm-hmm.
to come back. They don't fucking come back because Numenor is going through some bullshit with Farazan. And then you have his son who's alive and well,
I thought
Elendil.
he was gonna get with the queen.
Isildur.
That-
Isildur is the son, and Arnarian.
Isildur, thank you. Isildur, it comes in and he's meet this bitch, right? And he fucking gets screwed over and he's already in love with this stupid ass. I didn't like that whole process and him joining the elf. That was a waste of time, by the way.
It was
Um,
one episode. I'm gonna kiss you.
It was such a fucking waste.
My husband made me a house. I'm gonna leave him.
Listen,
Next panel, he's on a boat by himself.
I thought that was so fucking
for that I hated
stupid.
it. For everything else, I was with
Make
it,
no
and then I was like,
sense.
"You got rid of my plot. Thank you very much."
He was
Well,
like,
so like nothing
made
is
it
known
cool.
about Isildur's wife. Like you could literally do whatever you want, and that's what I'm saying with creative liberty. Don't do that.
Yeah,
Like whatever that was.
Yeah.
Like
It didn't. Yeah, that just didn't make sense for me. Just have him sending off on the boat. Like you already know, shit does not seem like it's going right because this guy who was supposed to be your friend from back in the
Isildur
States.
has to
fuck
go
that
back.
guy. That
Isildur
guy
has to go
as
back 'cause
soon as I said they were like, "Yeah,
Wait.
let him go, let him walk," I was like, "He's gonna fucking die. He's gonna kill his best friend."
Hold on.
Sorry. Go
Wait,
ahead.
Isildur has to go back where?
Well, technically he doesn't because this is in the books, but like Isildur has to go back to Numenor because he has to steal the sapling from the White Tree. He has to steal the scepter, like all the things that are passed down to Aragorn when he's king. Isildur steals,
Huh.
but I
So
mean,
we can't kill off Numenor until Isildur goes back to Numenor.
well, yeah, well that's what I was saying. He has to go back, but then
If they
to
do it the
Tone's,
way they
to
supposed
Tone's point, like they're just gonna fucking roll the dice anyway, so it doesn't really matter if what he goes back
They're
for.
gonna be like,
He's gonna go back and he's gonna fucking ride an eagle to Valinor for all I know.
that's it.
That fucking eagle is also
Using
going to
the
fly him to Mordor and then tell him, "Hey, I can't do this later." By the way,
If that
he's gonna use the
happens-
eagles in the way that
if-
everyone says you should use the eagles. You know,
Yeah.
like
If-
he's
yeah,
that
that's exactly
happens-
what's going to happen.
If that happens, and once everybody's in AC, I would treat you to Tony Baloney's. That's it. If that happens, that's it.
Well, yeah, I do like how they were adding like the sea monsters and such. Like that ritual, that's not in the books at all. I do like how they
That
add
was
things like
sea
that.
bass level Jack. It still sounds like it beat Rings of Power writing.
Right.
Oh shit.
That was
Thank you for
Seabass level,
recognizing
Jack.
Hugo.
Yeah.
See, Seabass got levels.
Are we getting some sort of plot line with this guy's Isildur's father?
You know what I'm
Glendale?
really bothered?
Linda,
Sorry.
and the queen? Because essentially, like they kept hinting, like there's a
They have a
thing.
relationship, don't they? Is there a thing or not?
I thought there was
he's
a thing
loyal to her because Muriel's story is actually
He's
super
just down
sad.
bad.
Yeah, Muriel's story is actually
Wait,
really
go ahead.
sad.
Talk
So,
about.
in the book again. So who gives a fuck about that now? But
Poor Jack.
there's a book.
there's a book.
No,
Who knew?
Wait, there's source material?
Oh,
Yeah,
that's crazy.
what is that?
What
What
is
is that
that?
source material? Who fucking
Wow.
copyright?
What is this shit here?
Yeah, so she is the last of the loyal, and like again, like Ar-Pharazôn forces her to marry him and such like that, but she actually does stay behind when the armies go to Valinor, and she goes up to there's a pillar to not a pillar, but like pretty much a worship area for Eru, God, that even Sauron doesn't touch. He's even afraid of like fucking with. And as the city's collapsing into the water, she's trying to get up there to worship him one last time. So she doesn't escape the fate of Numenor, which is sucks because she's always been as loyal as possible.
Mm.
She has fucked over then.
Yep.
And she was manipulated to marry her fucking cousin. She don't
Yep.
even get to follow her heart. And she was chosen by the fucking gods. That's some bullshit, bro.
You tell him.
You tell him. You know what? Never mind.
I mean,
Dang.
it's valid though because, like, honestly, she's supposed to
And
be the
she
good.
fucking
She's like the
goes to
one
help
good
people.
person there. And
She
you're like,
gets fucking put blind. Like, that shit is some bullshit. If that's all she gets fucking end up going through. Man, she deserves
I
something
feel like
better.
Catman should have just married Homeboy's daughter, who we all don't give a fuck at this point.
Yo, I
And that bitch.
she's not in the books either, to be fair. But like it doesn't say there's not a daughter, so I don't mind adding it, but it's like are you just trying to add characters we fucking hate? That actress does do a good job of making you hate her.
I fucking
Yeah.
hate
It
her,
makes you-
bro.
it
I
makes you wanna
hate her.
You want a Sparta kicker.
Because
Oh,
there's
yeah.
also
The fucking
like
cliff.
there's no motivational reason for what she's doing. I feel like she has no real reason.
Blind
of, like,
face.
It's like, oh man, like he's
But we don't know what the ball. What was the ball? The thing that she touched. We don't know what that
Planter?
showed her. Thank you.
Yeah. Well, you also have to be like, well, she would be strong of mind, but you have to be really strong of mind to be able to use those. Otherwise, you'll go mad. Like that's why Ithalian, when he used the Palantir in the movie, in the movies they changed it a little bit, but he went mad because Sauron was fucking with him so much when he was going into the Palantir.
Who?
Or Denethor, sorry, not Ithalian. Denethor.
Who?
Boromir's dad.
The steward,
Okay.
The steward,
Okay.
yeah.
Mister. I
Okay.
eat tomatoes like a fucking
Miss-
savage.
Oh, you beat me to
God.
it. damn.
Oh, I got
Tone, quick on the draw.
He was. He was,
Well
man.
done, sir. Well
Mister,
done.
I'm gonna bury my children alive. Yes, I got it. Thank you.
I'm gonna
Jesus
throw myself
Christ.
off the wall.
Yeah,
flaming.
like, they
Right.
actually did him dirty in the movie because, like, in the book, he actually is pretty honorable for the most part. It's just Sauron fucking got in his head, and that's what happens.
Yeah, no, the movie's making me like I hate fucking Denethor.
Yeah, like,
Like, I
She's
fucking
a
hate
fucking
that guy.
bitch.
but they
Damn.
also do Boromir dirty too, because like
No, but
You
Boromir
kind of-
had some loyalty to him. Boromir had some
in the books he had a lot more. Like in the books, he was as honorable as they come, and like it
Honor.
really
Yeah,
showed
like,
how
apparently,
He
like-
was played by Ned Stark.
But apparently, like from what little I know in the books, like his downfall hurts more than what was showed in the books because he was that honorable.
yeah, exactly. Mhm.
yeah.
Because, like, in the books,
Accurate.
Aragorn and Boromir weren't going to walk with Frodo all the way to Mount Doom. They were going to walk them until they got to the plains of Rohan, and then they were going to break off and go to Gondor and proclaim that Aragorn is king.
Mm.
A couple arrows stopped that plan. Like 4.
Yeah.
Couple arrows.
Like 4.
He became the Pincushion.
Oh, fucking Christ. Jack is brutal today.
He said a couple arrows stopped that plan. Maybe 4.
Oh my god.
Casting Sean Bean. You know, they're like, hey, who
Yeah.
always dies?
I
We
quit.
need the
Die
best
quick.
dude to die. Like,
Right.
best at dying.
Sean Bean.
Say no more.
I feel like that. Yeah, there was a top 10.
When that
top
man
10
actually dies, no one's going to believe it.
Nope. Which is fucking terrible. Oh my god, it's so fucking terrible.
No, it's not even
Oh,
like, again, it's not even that. It's that it'll be like Sean Bean passed away in his sleep, surrounded by family and friends,
They got a
painless,
lot of practice.
gentle in the night, and it's like,
That's how he
What
dies?
did happen?
You didn't give him some epic death?
What?
Right?
You
That's
better
not
make
good
some
enough.
shit
he got hit by arrows. I think in another movie he was fucking ripped apart by horses. He has several.
He's been
movies
shot
that-
to death.
I think
Yeah,
he has
I mean,
more than
I'm
like
pretty
any other
sure-
actor, doesn't he?
Yeah, I think it's like a
yes,
thing.
most deaths, yeah,
Yeah.
it's a
Damn,
whole
that's
thing.
fuck.
Like in James
I mean,
Bond,
like, at least his family gets plenty of practice. but-
in James Bond, he died.
Hell! Jack! Jack!
Boom, that's it,
Jesus
mic drop.
Christ.
He said
So-
his family gets a whole lot of practice.
So
That's
I pulled up an article. Ready? This is all the ways he's died on screen. Caravaggio in 1986, method of death, throat slashed.
Oh God, we just need a number, bro.
I'm just going through them. I haven't looked at a number. I just saw a list that I'm reading.
You're killing them off like fucking Rings of Power is killing off Tolkien. I got you.
Exactly. War Requiem, 1989, method of death, bayoneted.
Damn.
bayoneted. What the fuck is a bayoneted?
A bayonet.
A
Like,
bayonet. It's a
it's
knife at the
like-
end of a gun.
It's just this
Oh,
fancy way of saying I got stabbed.
Yeah.
Lorna Doone, 1990, method of death, drowned. The Field, 1990, method of death, death by cow. Clarissa,
Like-
1991,
Never mind.
method of death, stabbed. Patriot
AKA
Games,
bayoneted.
1992, method of death, impaled by an anchor. Now we're starting to get to the memorable stuff. Scarlet, 1994, method of death, stabbed. Goldeneye. One of you guys want to take it away? Because you guys know Goldeneye, 1995, method of death,
Satellite fell on him. That's all. I
crushed
know.
by a satellite dish. Good job. Airborne, 1998, method of death, shot. Essex Boys, 2000, method of death, also shot.
Oh, he was
Don't
killed
say
in Equilibrium too. Like is Equilibrium there?
We're
He was
gonna,
shot
we're,
in
gonna, we're gonna get there. Listen, we're gonna
God,
get
see that? You're
there.
at a 9, bro. Bring it down to a 3.
Oh, I see that you're looking at.
Don't say a word. 2001, method of death, buried alive. Lord
Buried
of the Rings,
alive.
Fellowship- Lord of the Rings, Fellowship of the Ring, 2001. We already said method of death, shot with arrows. Equilibrium, 2002, method of death, shot. Henry VIII, 2003, method of death, he was hanged. The Island, 2005, method of death, he was shot with a grappling hook and hanged. Now we're starting to get real spicy with
Fuck
it.
it, dude. Let's make sure he's fucking gone.
Absolutely. 2007, Far North, we get method of death. He was frozen. Outlaw, 2007, he was also shot. The Hitcher, also shot. Red Riding, the Year of Our Lord, 1974, that came out in 2008, he was also shot. Black Death, method of death, he was torn and quartered. That might have been the
Horses.
one. That might have been the one Tone was talking about.
That's the horses one. I was waiting for it.
Death Race
That's
2.
his 20th one. That's his 20th one.
Yes. Death Race 2, which is 21, is
Death Race
shot.
2, straight to DVD.
Cash, 2010. Method of Death, also shot. Game of Thrones,
How many times was he
2011.
shot?
How did he die,
Beheaded.
kids? He was beheaded. Good job.
Decapitated. Yes.
Decapitated, yes.
No, this dude is limbo
Angry.
dancing with fucking death right
All
now.
of it. Age of Heroes, 2001, 2011. Method of Death, he was also shot. And then, I think that's it for this list.
He
I don't
didn't
know
fall in
how-
the volcano? Fucking weak.
That
I
is
don't-
next one.
24 times.
Listen, all you just need to
24
do is
times on scene.
all you just need to do is make a Final Destination movie and star Sean Bean, and he plays all the roles.
Yo,
Oh, that sounds wrong. Method of Death, Brad. I
but
mean,
then
that
you'd
guy
know,
could
like,
have said he was alive when I
Mission
last saw
Survival.
him.
I was surprised when I watched Troy and he didn't die in that movie.
So yes.
I thought for a
Doesn't
fact
die
that
in
was,
Troy.
No.
He is the Kenny.
Anytime
He
he's passed,
is the Kenny of Hollywood. Let's be real. When he lives through a movie, we're fucking
It's
surprised.
not,
they
it's
kept
not
it.
inaccurate.
we're not
Yeah.
It's not
right.
inaccurate
And then
at
when
all.
he's alive, you're like, wait, he's not gonna die.
So
Wasn't he on one of the Die Hard films?
no, I don't
not
think
that
so.
I'm aware, but
He's a
they
national
said,
treasure.
yes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
The National Treasure.
So,
Doesn't
but
he
he,
die?
got,
He is
got-
a national
he got
treasure.
arrested.
He's in the first
There's a thing that says Sean Bean dies in every movie, but not anymore. But it says actor Sean Bean
Right, because
has
he's getting
died
too
23
old. He doesn't
times.
want to fucking jinx it now.
Yeah, essentially.
How old
And
is
then
he?
they have
70?
rankings. No, he's not
I
that
don't
old.
think that old.
It's like 60s.
Well, no, you
Let's
got to
look
count
it
it back
Find
from how
out.
many times he died.
Oh my god.
He's
Hold
a
on.
fucking Highlander. There you go.
65. Ripe old
Wow,
age of
that's
65.
Yep. 1959 he was born.
Yes. Oh man.
God damn.
You know what makes
Yeah.
me feel old? When people said that they were born.
If he
in-
survives the movie,
2000.
you stay in case he gets off the
Yeah.
post-credits scene.
Fucking Deadpool pulls up and just wow.
Right.
he was like, you knew what was gonna happen, people.
Deadpool's gonna come in like,
Right.
you know this is a canon event. Come on.
Yeah. Fucking A.
Good old honorable Ned Stark.
Oh man. So wait. So
Aw.
do we have anything else on Lord of the Rings? Do
I
we
love
want
Ned.
Oh, I
Yeah.
could talk for days on it, but I don't know if you want to. For the show, like there
Is
are
that
good parts.
Gandalf's
on it.
actual staff, sir?
Yeah. Look, it lights up.
That's awesome.
You can't see it with the shade.
Yeah,
I have a.
he has a whole.
I actually
Gandalf
have
costume.
an actual like one of the replicas they actually used in the movie for Aragorn's crown.
Ooh.
Yeah, bring that on. Bring
I
it on.
love that he said that so fucking casually.
Like
I
it
got
was
the
nothing.
certificate of authenticity and everything for it.
Oh shit.
Aren't we the coolest kid in
Oh.
class?
You bow
today?
to no one.
Yo,
You bow to.
Hey.
My friends, you bow to no one.
He has a
let's go back
Gandalf
into that
staff.
case.
Jack,
Yeah,
I need to
Gandalf-
introduce you to my
Gandalf's
friends
costume.
who had a Lord of the Rings wedding, and they absolutely would love you because they're huge.
So
huge
here's my
The
Lord of
only
Lord of the Rings
gripe.
wedding, I already love them.
Yes, like they gave us the guests like the bread and tea, like they gave it to us as gifts, like little bags. They gave us the bread, the tea, I think a recipe for the bread. There's dice that they made that were like elven inspired. Love those guys. Shout out to Frankie, shout out to Nick. Love you guys.
I love you
I
too.
gotta go see you guys.
Me too.
I have a
they're dope.
question about Lord of the Rings, Jack. So the elves in Eregion,
Yeah.
why are they so soft?
Oh.
Like they,
Oh.
Said you smells like bitch in here.
bro, they didn't put up a fucking single fight against these orcs. I'm like, what the
Oh,
fuck is
shit.
happening here? They running it
Oh.
around and not doing shit. What the fuck is happening here? And I know elves like to rock some shit. Like, what the fuck? And then orcs, who their mortal enemy, you ain't fighting back? What the fuck is happening here?
You tell
Am
him.
I the
Bob.
only one who
You should write a
questioned
strongly worded letter.
I was like, I smell bitch in the city.
Yo,
Strongly worded
Like,
letter.
What the fuck is happening here? We got fucking elves all over the city. They're one of the smartest
To be
motherfuckers.
fair,
And
the
orcs coming to
hardest
invade,
hitting
and they're sitting there like they ain't got no strength.
the hardest hitting elves that we had in the entire season, like both seasons, were Arondir.
Galadriel
And
and
Galadriel.
Elrond.
Elrond showed up like
Oh, Elendir, yeah, you're right. You're right.
Arondir was,
God,
Arondir was
in episode 7, when they fighting that fucking troll, bro, troll comes out, they're like, take those motherfuckers down!
hold on.
Elendil
So I
comes
do
in,
want
and I'm
to
like,
hit that.
I was not expecting Elrond
You
to
can
come
tell
in
that.
and be that guy, and I was like, oh,
So I do
he's
want to
about that
hit on that
life.
though. I do want to hit on that.
Elrond.
So first off, you
yeah,
have
let's talk about that.
Elendil is a badass.
'Cause-
He is the best fighter of men at this time. He is a badass.
Okay.
Gil-galad is the best fighter of the elves. Now, Elendil, as you guys know, wields Narsil. Gil-galad wields Agros, which is the icicle spear.
Maybe
And
they
so-
only had a bunch of left-
Yo!
These are out.
Oh no, they did have the budget, Hugo.
Oh,
Wow.
my
Fucking, who knows where it
They
went?
just
Fucking
That's
that budget went down the
funny.
trash. That's where it went. No, but so like when you have the War of the Last Alliance, right? And actually everyone, so Gil-galad summons everyone. So you have Orifer, which
Gil-galad is-
Thranduil,
hold on.
Gil-galad
Remind me
is the
who
dude-
Gil-galad is.
the dude that needs to take a diet, and he's in that golden
Yeah.
armor.
Yeah, King Elf Drip.
You call him Vic Elf.
Okay. The king of the elves right now. Okay.
Yeah,
Before Elrond.
His name's King Juicy. So, and we have
Oh my
aren't they
god!
also like all vegetarians too?
no, that's only in the movie. In the movies, they're vegetarian.
Okay.
No, that
But-
man's eating beef.
Yo,
Oh my god!
that's how the cow died, right there.
So
Death by cow.
Gil-galad.
Oh,
So, and you have
Gil-galad, go ahead.
Orifer is Thranduil's father. Legolas' granddad. He heads over. You have Durin the Fourth that comes up, and then you have
Wait. Is Orfor here?
no, he's not in the show.
Have we seen
That's on-
Orfor in the show?
We have not seen any
Okay.
wood elves, right?
No,
random
Um,
fun fact: the guy who plays the king also played Abraham Lincoln in Abraham Lincoln Vampire Hunter. I'm like looking at his IMDb. I was
Yeah.
like,
Oh,
oh fuck! Like,
oh yes, he is. And I
And
actually
that movie is
enjoyed that
terrible.
movie.
it is awful, but I
No.
remember it.
well, at
It's
least he doesn't have to
awful,
worry
but
about destroying his
I
career.
enjoyed it. Still an enjoyable
Yo,
movie.
Jack.
Fuck that.
Jack, sir,
Savage. Jack Savage, that's it.
you're telling everyone else
You know,
bring it
fuck
down
you
to a
guys.
3. You've been on the 15
It's been
since
on fucking
before we
Twitter.
You're on
fucking
a
went on
10.
air.
Let's
Before
bring
we
it
went
down
on
to
air.
a 4.
Jack's like, I come here every
Light.
2 years. All right.
Let's turn it up all the
Thanks,
fucking
Cole.
way.
You're here for me, man. I got you. Thanks, bro.
Oh
No,
so-
shit!
They all get together, right? And they're like, hey, we need to stop Sauron. He's getting big. He's getting bad, yada, yada. So they all march down. And as they get to around this area, I can't tell where that is on my map. It should be near the Dead Marshes. As they get to around this area, Gil-galad, who's the high general of the armies, is like, hey, let's go in through Minas Ithil, which later becomes Minas Morgul. But he's like, let's go in through Minas Ithil and attack Mordor from the west. But Orifer is like, no, fuck you. I'm not following no old Noldor elves. We're going our way. So they actually go where
Wood
the,
elves.
where the Black Gate is. Yeah, maybe you took too many fucking muffins, Gil-galad. That's why he's not following you. So anyway, they go over to where the Dead Marshes are. The Black Gates aren't built yet, and they almost get slaughtered. Orifer dies. And Thranduil, Legolas's dad, kind of rallies them and pushes the orcs back, but they're like, "Hey, that's it. That's as far as we could go." Hold on, maybe if I move. There we go. That's as far as they go. So then you have Gil-galad and Elendil coming in from the west, and the orcs are legitimately like they're Gil-galad and Elendil are in the front ranks, and the orcs are legitimately scared. They're running from it, from the fire of Narsil and the ice of Aglos. So they're fucking all of them up. And they fight all the way up to Barad-dûr, and they start laying siege on Barad-dûr. 7 years they're laying siege on Barad-dûr. So they're like all the orcs are pretty much dead. Sauron finally comes out, and he fights them back to Mount Doom, and that's when Gil-galad and Elendil are like, all right, time to step up. So they fight Sauron 2v1. They get a few hits on Sauron. Sauron grabs Gil-galad by his face, and the heat of Sauron's hand alone kills Gil-galad. So he burns him to death right there.
Oh shit!
Elendil comes up, stabs him
Not
with
a fun way to
Narsil.
die.
Yeah, stabs him with Narsil, and boom, Sauron drops, not dead, but defeated. Elendil is exhausted, so he drops and falls on Narsil, so Narsil's shattered because he fell on it. That's when Isildur comes up, gets Narsil, and he's like, oh, well, I'm going to take the ring too, and he cuts it off of Sauron's defeated body. So in the movies, you see
So
it's
that's
like
what happens in the
heroic.
war.
Yeah, that's what's about to happen. But that's where I was like, shit, where was I going with that? Not again.
No, I was talking about how the Eregian elves are trash, and
Yeah, they're
why
not
they're
supposed
being
to be
overrun
trash.
by
I don't know why they're that bad. I mean, they do get defeated by Sauron, but it's normally like this is when Sauron's at his top, not a rag bag bunch of orcs that just
They got
are
daddy issues.
following.
yeah,
Yeah. The fuck
fucking
is
losers.
Holy shit!
I did come in hot. I
Jack,
did come in hot on
never,
this one.
never
Never
fucking
change,
change.
never
Don't
change.
ever fucking change.
So we're
please.
at that point. So what we got next
All
week?
right, we appreciate you.
Next week we are doing the first 3 episodes of Vox Machina.
Ooh,
Fuck Vox Machina. No, I'm just joking. I actually love it. I love it.
Wow!
Listen, if you want to come fuck up
we
Vox
had this
Machina,
combo.
you're more than welcome.
No, Valerie
on,
actually got
so-
me in on Vox Machina. I actually love it. I really do.
Nice.
So when I first watched it, because you guys got me onto it, right? Everyone that I was working with was like, just watch this trailer. Just watch this trailer. Just watch this trailer. Everyone. I'm like, it's so good. And they're like, oh, I'm gonna fucking watch this shit. Oh, it's good. Okay, you sold me just on the fucking trailer. Okay.
I'm
And
gonna let you
everyone
guys
was watching
know.
Lord
it.
knows a lot of the lore because he listens to the podcast and everything.
I watched the
Lord,
podcast.
yeah.
I'm gonna let y'all know now. If y'all were caught in
It's
the
about to be lit.
feels in the first 2 seasons, like if y'all cried or got real, oh my god, this season's gonna fuck you up. Just be aware. Unless they make a lot of changes, which I kind of saw they were hinting at. Certain things are gonna happen. You're just gonna be like, why did that happen? Oh no, that is going to set up the next 2 seasons or season, depending on how they're going with it. And it's gonna be
In
like,
law, I'm used to
oh,
asking why that happened with the shows
God.
now.
don't do that. Please don't.
Right. Jack, you coming back for Vox?
Do it.
I don't know. You guys
Do
are on
it.
pretty late. I might try.
Oh, fuck that. It's on Tuesdays when you're not doing shit anyway.
I have 2 daughters.
Woo! Spicy.
Yeah, see? I'm not the one
do.
getting spicy. Yeah, I have 2 daughters. Hear me
I'm
fucking
cutting
yell
into
like
your
fucking
gaming
Lord
time.
Rings, fucking fuck. What?
I'm cutting into your gaming time. You're fine. The
Oh.
ladies will be fine.
No, well, they probably will. It'll be all right.
Just
I
need
work
you one
something
time
out.
during the season. All right.
Ugh.
Oh no, I can't be next weekend. Remember, I'll be camping next.
No, not
weekend.
next
So sorry.
weekend. Not next weekend. Not next weekend. Somehow later in the season.
Oh yeah, that's fine.
this
Oh
will be
man.
another
So I hope
fun-
I didn't shit on anyone's parade.
No, you have fun, bro. That's
Nah,
I told
but-
you. Did I not give you the disclaimer? Say just have fucking fun with it. That's what it was. And I'm gonna have fun too
Yeah.
because guys, only 9 issues left of Concrete Combat. Order now. Physical copies. Let's go. DM me. $28
Guaranteed
bucks.
better than Rings of Power.
Oh,
Wow.
it is. It's written by me.
Wow.
Actually, Seabass, that bar was low. I apologize for that.
Jesus
Get out.
Christ.
Go home.
No, I'm saying yours is better. Yours is better. The bar of Lord of the Rings of Power is low.
Yeah. Right. He's like, no one cares about Lord of the Rings. No, for you,
We need
it's
to
low.
bring Jack on more,
Yes.
so maybe he's not as hot like 2 years after. Because I think it's
Right.
the 2 years wait of just like,
It's
yo,
like
when
it's
I
like-
get back on this fucking show, I'm gonna let them
No.
fucking know.
I'm actually glad I didn't come on when I was initially talking with Val on it because I was still pretty optimistic. I was like, hey, it's still
Yeah,
fucked
he
up,
was.
but it does seem like it's getting better. And then I was like, what the what? And it was actually really my wife was like just watching every single time something new came up, like, oh, you're not gonna say anything about Tom Bombadil? I was like, nah, that doesn't bother me as much. And then we get to other parts like, okay, fucking, you
happening?
captured Gil-galad, the greatest fucking elven warrior of this age. You just captured him. Like, sure, that makes sense. Why not?
Yeah.
So, like, this motherfucker is supposed to take on Sauron, and with their timeline, and he's supposed to take him on in 3 fucking days, I guess.
He's taking on McMuffins, apparently, according to you.
yeah. He needs to take on the gym first. Jesus.
Damn.
Oh,
Damn.
oh my god, it's so fucked.
Oh shit! It's a
plus
plus-size
size
elf putting on
boy.
rings.
A plus size elf.
He's not plus size.
I know.
Yeah, he's just fluffy.
He just doesn't fit his
Plus-
uniform.
Oh, man.
I got that shirt. I will rock that shirt. I'm not fat. I'm fluffy.
I mean, like, the thing is that it does look like Gil-galad. I wish I could pull up like a picture. He does look like Gil-galad if he just lost weight. And it's like, with that budget, you can't tell me you can't afford a personal trainer.
But maybe it's just, talking about the opulence of the elves before all the shit goes down. And then through all the fighting, he gets leaner. I don't know, man. I'm trying to make something work.
He's gonna
That's-
come
I
back
like where you're
jacked.
going, Evan.
Be like, oh, we got a jacked elf. He jacked him off.
Like, yeah.
You guys aren't shit.
But you know what he won't
Alright,
have?
so
He won't
I have
have
to
he
watch.
won't have Thranduil's awesome moose, okay? Because he's got a fucking moose. Or the
That
elk,
is
whatever.
true.
Or whatever
Because the
he rides
fucking
on.
moose would collapse under that goddamn weight.
Jesus.
You know what's funny? There are outtakes of
Christ.
Lee Pace. They use the horse. They use the horse, and they obviously because the Hobbit is nothing but digital.
It is all digital. Yeah.
It's all digital. So they use the horse and they put the moose on it. But apparently there are blooper clips of Lee Pace like saying his lines as he's talking to Thorin at the gate, and the horse is just rotating him as he's saying. His lines.
I've seen that.
Wait.
I need to
What are
see
we
that.
talking about?
In the Hobbit, in the
Battle
third
of
movie.
Five
When Thranduil goes to the gate and he's trying to talk with Oakenshield, and Oakenshield's already got the dragon sickness. And he goes up to him. He's on his moose, but in the bloopers, the horse he was using wasn't listening. So you have Lee Pace, who's literally rotating on the saddle while saying his lines, dead face, while the horse.
Does Lee Pace know how to ride?
I don't know, maybe
Like Viggo Mortensen could ride?
Viggo Mortensen
Viggo Mortensen-
loved that horse.
Viggo Mortensen
Wow.
can do almost anything he wants.
Viggo Mortensen can do
Yeah.
almost everything he wants, and also like when you look at the other stories, like I was like these clips pop up on YouTube, but like all this behind the scenes stuff for Lord of the Rings, and they had one night when in Two Towers
And
when
he brought back a fucking deer, like an actual deer. that he
no,
hunted?
not that one. It was another one where like it was at nighttime. They had
Not
to
that
do the
fucking
scene
cool story. Just
when
another
they're
cool story.
when Gimli, Legolas, and they were going to have to run across the plains, and they have to get the shot of the sun rising. Right,
Mhm.
it had to happen super early in the morning, so they all decided, hey, let's all camp out. And fucking, they do like this whole camp out night. They're all hanging out. Vigo's fishing, and they're like having this wonderful evening, and they're like talking. It's like, that cast,
That
that
would have been nice.
that
They
bond that they
cared.
had.
That's what happens. You got to
Yeah.
get them to care. I will say though,
Yeah.
like the Rings of Power did do a great job with the cast. Like
Yeah.
it's who I would envision. Oh, that was the last thing. Shit. Círdan. I was so happy that they brought in Círdan at the beginning, but then he looked old as shit. So like in the books, it says the only way you could tell from Círdan's
Círdan.
age is his eyes.
Oh, the guy,
That's
the
The elf
Wise
that was
elf.
shaving with a clam.
The one that Elrond goes to tell him,
Mhm,
hey,
yeah.
destroy this because they don't see what I see.
Yeah, he's he's a part of the Talari tribe, but he's the oldest, literally the oldest elf that we know of.
In Middle Earth.
And correct, yeah. So it's like I love how they brought him in, but then I was like, ooh, you actually look old as dirt. Like that's he did have a white beard, he had white hair, but other than that, like other than the fact of people like Celebrimbor being actually old. Cool.
I guess that's why they shaved his beard after he got the ring. Like, let's make him look a little younger. Shave off the beard.
I guess. Yeah. But I did like how they actually brought him in because Círdan is the one who gives Gandalf his ring of power. That's how Gandalf gets Varia.
Wait, Gandalf gets a ring of
Who
power?
talks about this?
Yeah, but even I didn't like realize it
Yeah, I don't remember.
when you guys were like, oh yeah, and I was like, he does?
Mhm.
It's
Question
the Ring of
mark?
Fire.
Mhm. Yes, you're right,
Obviously,
I'm sorry.
obviously, I know that now.
And
but
not the Johnny Cash one. He said the Ring of Fire.
What?
Fatness.
you know, good because I was almost like,
Yeah,
wait, what?
okay.
I'll
I
take
tried.
Right.
I tried.
It was there. It was
Yeah,
there.
it's okay. We get it. We get it. It was.
It's too late. The
it
damage
just
is done,
missed at
Val.
first. It missed at
Everyone-
first. We
everyone,
get it
it's a-
after.
Well, you see
It's
it.
on the
Don't you
internet.
see Narya in the end of the third movie? I'm almost positive you do. Like he wears it freely. But like little details like that follow the books. That was great. But they didn't want to do that in the show.
Mm. Mm.
It's the quote of the day, kids. What we're gonna take away is that follow the details. Love the stuff you're doing.
Yeah.
Otherwise,
Yeah.
you're gonna make a shit show like Love and Thunder.
Sure. Yeah.
Law.
All right.
I mean,
That
not wrong, but yeah.
doesn't apply. But it doesn't apply here. What? No, fuck that shit. That's stupid. Are we all just going with the stupidity?
With the what?
So it's
Okay.
one of those. So all right, he's
one-
not
one of those
wrong,
moments.
but like you could have chose like Percy Jackson. You could have
I could have chose Madam Web.
You could have chose anything. Love and
But I
Thunder.
went with Love and Thunder. It's a
Yo,
little bit
we
of a
are
soft-
way past
soft
the time.
cushion.
I actually am going to the
Fine,
office
Fine.
tomorrow.
Okay, it is whatever.
So
Okay.
first of all,
Listen,
thank Jack for coming
Lord-
back on, having the spiciest takes
Thank you,
I've heard in
Jack.
a long time.
Thank
Thank you
coming
for
on, Jack.
being like so like giving of your time and your like Lord of the Rings knowledge and your spicy hot takes. You are welcome any fucking time you want to be here for sure. It's like tonight is set up. The whole night.
We're not talking about it, Hugo.
Oh my
Do not get me
God.
started.
I mean,
no,
now there's
go on
now
then.
now there's a poll. Would you rather have Margot Robbie as Harley
No, we're
Quinn
not going to
or
entertain
Lady
it.
Gaga as Harley Quinn?
We're not
It's
doing
already
it.
there. It's a poll. It's gonna be-
we already
it's gonna be-
over the
it's-
time.
It's gonna be in
Seabass.
Val's inbox.
We're already over time. Thank you, Jack. Go check out Seabass's work on his Patreon. His stuff is done. He's bringing out some oldie but goodie with Dead Planet and the unreleased like early scripts and whatnot. You'll be at Comic-Con this weekend, I'm guessing.
No, unless
But your
someone
book,
gives me a ticket.
but your book will be there.
No, the book would not be there, but George will be there. George will
But
be
George
there.
will be
selling
there.
Wonder Duck, and
Got it.
one
Okay.
of my comics actually will be there because if you go to the Wayward Raven booth and you get the
We Suck at Comics book.
Yes, the We Suck at Comics anthology right here. This nice thick bad boy right here with all these comics in here. Concrete Combat #1 is in this bad boy. So if you're in New York City Comic Con, you could pick up this book. It's over 300 pages. Look at that. It's nice and thick. She a thick bitch.
That means two things.
It does.
That it does. That it
Uh,
does.
All that said and done.
Fucking Gil-galad.
Christ. We're talking Legend of Vox Machina next week. I am very excited to be back
Indeed.
into the I know shit about shit seat. Because while this has been fun and educational, it's nice to have the shoe on the other foot every once in a while. So thank you guys for joining us tonight. Love you, appreciate you guys. Wouldn't be here without you guys. Thank you, Hugo. Your hot takes are also like you're great. I love you. Don't ever change.
Thanks, bro.
Beautiful theme music. 3, 2,